Welcome everybody. It's Friday evening and just getting set up here. But anyway, welcome. A lot of you have been at the Nats all week, so I hope we get some good reports to that. And I know Sparky called me a little earlier and wants to come on and tell us about what's been going on with him there. And I see that he's posted a few things on the Stunt Hanger video channel, so I haven't had a chance to take a look at that yet. But anyway, end of the week and getting ready to go flying, so I'm stoked about tomorrow going up to our club meeting in Stanley, North Carolina at one of our members' house, James Duckworth. And not only does he have a flying field at his house, but he's got his own museum, and it is by itself worth the trip alone. He's got a garage apartment which has been fixed up really nice and converted into a museum, mostly, well, control line, but he builds all kinds of paper planes and rubber powered planes, free flight. He's an engine collector, and he's just got an unbelievable collection of stuff in there. And you can walk through and pick any engine up and give it a flip, and it feels like it's just been cleaned and oiled an hour ago. I have never gotten an answer about him, about how he keeps it so clean and neat, shiny and oily, not a speck of dust. Just incredible. I certainly don't have the time to do that, so I'm glad there are people who do. I always lust over things in there. Like, he's got a whole collection of the old American Juniors that we used to play with. Our moms would buy them for us when she'd go shopping to keep us busy at the dime store. That's what we called them back then. And we've got one guy over on Cox Engine Forums that built a half-A plane for an 049, I believe. I can't remember. Maybe it was for one of the smaller engines, but he copied the American Junior theme and made a really cool looking little plane. So I love looking at those American Juniors and thinking about playing out in the yard beside my house when I was a kid, winding them up, throwing them, seeing how many knots I could wind into the rubber bands. But Duck also builds a lot of warbirds that are just incredibly accurate out of paper. And they're so fragile, I hate to touch them. But anyway, hey Sparky, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. You're out of sync, but that's probably your bandwidth causing that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's really bad here.
Really? Well, you apparently had pretty good bandwidth out there at the field at the Nats. Is that right?
Yeah, as long as I stayed close to the pagoda, I was okay.
Yeah. It depends on how many other people were on too, I guess, because when a lot of people are using the same router, then it gets pretty clogged up. But I was glad to see you were able to post. One morning I turned it on and just caught the end of a live stream, and you were showing people flying, and basically I think you were just doing a test run that morning. That might have been Monday, I'm not sure. But
well, today I was using my phone.
Telephone, huh? How'd that go? Were you able to get some decent quality with the phone? It's a lot easier.
Well, the last 4 streams were done with the phone.
I hadn't had a chance to look yet, but I'll check them out.
Yeah, Frank Williams or whatever. Yeah, Frank Williams, 2 flights. Showed Mike Palco. I can only do it 10 minutes at a time, and then the signal drops. So,
well, how about you? You got some flying in. How'd that go?
Not good. The problem is, my problem is that where we live here in the Midwest, we only have about a 3-month window, and it's a month leading up to the nationals that I can get out and fly. You know, these guys are practicing all year round, gallons and gallons and gallons of fuel. I don't know how Chris Rudd did it. I guess he went somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, I did all right. You know, 10:35, I think I got for 2 flights.
Mm-hmm.
The one flight that I did, first swing over, and when I got to the top right here, the wind shifted 180.
Oh.
So that was almost a disaster flight. But it's been, you know, it's been fun. Kenneth Colbert says hello.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Hey, Ken, glad to have you with us. Join us live if you can, or hang out right there, and we'll keep an eye on you. If you want to post something, we'll try to address it. And glad to have you. Looks like we've got 3 viewers right now. Hopefully they'll trickle in. Fridays are usually pretty good nights around here. But I know a lot of our regulars are at the Nats, like Tom Creasy, he's there, and Steve Hines is there, and so I don't know if they'll be able to get on. And
I don't think Tom's here. I think he left.
Oh, really? I don't know. If he might not be home yet, or if he is, he's probably too tired. Might be too tired to get on the computer. But he was excited. He had a accident with his bastard, as he named it, but he still, I think he won third place. Were you? Yeah. He said he took off and did the best wing over he's ever done, and then the inside loops were right on track, grooving, and he was so excited he forgot to come out inverted, so he flew around and tried to do his outside loops from up high, and that was a big mistake. So I think he busted up the empennage, but it's all right other than that.
Yeah. Hey, Ken. Hey, Bishop. I guess it's R.W. Bishop. Hello.
Hey, R.W. Bishop. Yeah, these are all regular tubers. So y'all feel free to join us. The link is at the top of the chat box over there. So what is the schedule now? Is there finals tomorrow and everybody goes home Sunday, or what's going on?
Yeah, finals are tomorrow. If there's no rain, but what they're calling for is rain.
Well, how my local boy Derek Barry do?
He's in the fly-off. He's in the top 5.
Oh, good. I'm always pulling for him.
He flew real well. Chris Rudd's in the top 5 too.
Good. Yeah, Chris has been on here with us a couple of times, but I hadn't really gotten to know him yet.
He's
what about Samantha? Did she accomplish anything good this time? Is she there? She's there with Steve, isn't she?
Yeah, she's here. They crashed an airplane before the finals, so I don't know how she did. I think she probably will still fly senior tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. What happened was the ball link pulled out of the push rod, and the airplane went in the ground, destroyed that one, so they went to their backup airplane.
I guess it wasn't glued quite right or something. They shouldn't pull out.
No, it's supposed to be threaded. It's supposed to be threaded on, and supposedly just stripped the threads out.
That's too bad. Yeah, not much you can do when the controls let go in the middle of a flight. I had that happen to my old fuel-soaked Cardinal. The flap horn just let go one day and threw everything out.
Been strange weather. First 2 days, the qualifying days were real pretty nice, really, except for that wind shift on me. And what was really strange is I caught the wind. It was my flight that caught the wind shift, meaning it blew one direction until my flight, and then it turned the other way, and it lasted all day going the other way.
So it wasn't just a thermal blowing through; it just completely changed its prevailing direction.
The wind was blowing at me when I started my wing over, and when I got up to the top, it was blowing at me from the other way. So I pulled out real high in my reverse wing over, and I was already committed, so I did 3 inside loops into the wind, and then pulled out inverted, and then 3 outside loops into the wind, pulled out level, and then I went around and I did my first set of square insides into the wind, decided that they would move 180 degrees, which is unprecedented to a quarter lap, but they walked around to the other side of the circle, and I flew an extra lap, and instead of flying 2 outside squares, I flew 2 more inside squares, left out the outsides, and went into my triangles.
Oh, God.
That, well, it totally screwed my game up.
Yeah.
But the next flight was a 500 something. I had a 527 on first day and a 5 something, and so I got a decent score, 1035.
Yeah. Well, that was good of the judges to make the change. A lot of times they want, some of the contests I've been to, they're sitting in chairs and you can't expect them to follow the wind. But probably the most mobile judges I've had were the Barrys. I was flying at Triple Tree last year, and Dale and Derek moved with the wind pretty well. So I kept my eye on them, and they were spot on about where they stood. So I appreciated that. It's great to have.
Well, these were the 2 Moon brothers, Steve and Doug Moon, and both of them are flyers, and they understood, what a disaster it was.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have judges that fly. There are some that don't, and there's some things they just don't quite grasp that we face out there in the center of the circle.
So that's basically what happened. I did post the qualifying scores and the 10 advanced. I can't. Richard Huff won advanced.
It's like R.W. Bishop's at work tonight. He's sad that he can't get on and chat with us, but he'll hopefully drop in when he gets breaks.
I hope somebody else comes.
When you heading back home, Sparky, you going back Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, Sunday. I have a place to stay in Dayton now that I can set up my green screen and lighting and everything and do a decent show. I still don't have internet in that place, but I'll get it next week.
Yeah.
I got to buy a TV, a couch, a bed, and get the internet installed, and the rest can just hold on for a while.
Well, we got 3 viewers right now, and hope more drop in, but everybody might be beat after a hard week in Muncie. We got a meeting tomorrow. I haven't flown in a couple of months. I've been kind of gimpy with a sore hip, so I decided to just let it get better, and going to see how the footing is out there on the grass field and hopefully give it a try tomorrow. Here comes.
Still there?
Hey, Wiley, how you doing, buddy? Just let it get better, and you brought a echo in with you. He's still not finished.
You got
set up. Here comes.
Still there?
Hey, Wiley, how you doing?
You
buddy?
got your video chat window open.
Yeah, hey, Wiley, close your YouTube or stop the YouTube stream.
Feedback. You can only
Yeah.
have one window open.
Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better, Rusty?
Just,
Yeah, looks good. Sounds good. We can't see you yet, but we can hear you.
is this Wally Haskett?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Wiley's one of our regulars these days.
Thank you very much for that super chat the other day. $25 super chat lets me know that you guys appreciate it.
Well, we'll talk to Wiley when he finishes getting hooked up. But anyway, guess we'll be doing a show on Monday too, and maybe everybody will be rested up by then, and we can get some good reports from all of our regulars that come in. Tell us about their adventures at the Nats. I know Tom and Steve came in the other night from Muncie.
I got a few pictures and some video together or something. Chris is putting together a new type. I guess it's WordPress, and I'm going to see what I can do about changing our homepage on Stunt Hanger to WordPress so that I can add video to the header and some other things to make it more like what Chris has.
Well, here's R.W. Bishop again. Did a lot of skydiving as a kid. One day, 8 of us were on about 50 feet on final and had a 108-degree wind shift. We all crashed and burned. Luckily, no injuries other than a few scrapes. Yeah, I can imagine skydiving wouldn't be where you'd want to be when the wind shifts all of a sudden. Looks like Wally's coming.
Wally, let me walk Wally through this.
Okay.
Wally, go up, take your arrow, take your mouse, go up to the top. There's a gear. And on that gear, it's the settings. Click on that. And then it'll open up a window and it'll say your camera on the top bar and then your mic. And then the next is the communications. That's the thing that you want to listen to. So you got your camera that you want to use on the top, the microphone you want to use in the center, and communications, meaning what you want to hear with on the bottom. Because we can't turn your camera on, nor can we turn your mic. Your mic is on, but you're not talking through the correct instrument. We hear some noise. Say something. Say something, Wally.
Say something, Wally. Give us a sign. Well, I got out in the shop a little bit this week and cleaned up and retooled for working on the Cardinal, and got my table leveled out. Opened up the box to inspect the wood. It's a nice looking laser cut kit. And first thing I pulled out was the big 1/2-inch slab that is the fuselage, and put my straight edge down its length. And it's got a just the slightest bow, which isn't surprising. I mean, almost every kit's got some bow in the wood, but I got some decisions to make. I want to build the fuselage first. I need to decide if I want to laminate 2 1/4 inches. Is that you, Wiley?
That's me. Can you hear me?
No, Bishop says he.
Yeah, still can't see you, but we got you on audio.
Camera. I can't get it to detect again for some reason.
Oh man.
I haven't been here very long. I just got home. I've been watching the Blue Angels this afternoon.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Hadn't watched a good air show in a long time. We had one out at McIntyre near Columbia recently, but I was at a club meeting that weekend. Or actually, it was a contest that weekend.
Hey, Sparky, do we have to be logged in Stunt Hangar to actually get in here?
Not to get in this, you have to be logged into Google.
Oh, well, let me go back out and try to come in through Google again. You know, something else, some reason I can't get into Stunt Hangar to sign in because I lost my notebook that had all my cheat stuff on it, and I can't remember my password or nothing. Can you delete all that stuff for me so I can start over?
I will change your password to password 123, and you know, go in and change it right now.
Let me do that real quick because it's driving me crazy.
Remember,
passwords 123.
It's going to be the word password, then 123.
Oh, password. Right. So you need to spell password and then 123.
Right, and change it right away so nobody else gets in there.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Give me a couple minutes, and then I'm going to come back in. I'll come back in through Google.
Okay.
But anyway, so I got to decide whether I want to work with this piece of wood that came for the fuselage or laminate 2 1/4-inch sheets. All of the recent stunters I've built, I've done lamination, but I haven't put anything sandwiched in the middle. Somebody was suggesting sandwich some carbon veil in the middle, but that doesn't really serve any function, does it? That won't give it any stiffness.
Guess what? I can't find him. See, this is why it's so important for these people to use their name. I don't, you know, I've typed in Wally, he ain't there. See Wally. I don't know if that's him or not. Well, I'm going to have to wait for him to come back because, no, that ain't him. You guys that are using the forum, it is so important that you use your name that I can find you for when you make a donation or whatever. I can give you your badge, because if I can't find you, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking for that. I mean, I don't even know Wally's email address.
I just typed a message in the chat box, says, Wally, what's your Stunt Hangar name? I don't know if he'll see that or not, but if he sees it, maybe he'll come back and tell us what he's called on Stunt Hangar. Yeah, if you look at my profile page, it says Rusty Knowlton, even though it's got Rock and Rusty in my avatar, but still my name's easy to find.
Yeah, I mean, if I can't find him, how can I change anything?
So if I decide to laminate 2 1/4-inch pieces to make my new fuselage with, does it serve any purpose to sandwich a piece of carbon veil in between, or fiberglass or anything else?
It does. If it was me, I'd just take some Z-epoxy and smooth the Z-epoxy on there. If you got a piece of carbon, great, sandwich it in there. If not, well, don't worry about it.
Serves any purpose. Now,
put them together, weight it down.
On the outside, I'll cover it with either veil or fiberglass, if I can get some 1/2 ounce fiberglass or something like that, and just cover the whole thing. So that's where the stiffness comes from, is covering it on the outside.
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting ready to drop. It looks like if I drop, make sure Wally gets my email address somehow so he can send me his username and I can change his password.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put your email up here in the chat box if he comes back.
Put the Stunt Hanger email in there, stuntvideos@stunthanger.com, and have him send me an email with his username and the password he would like to use, because I could do that in an email, no problem.
Okay, I just put stuntvideos@stunthanger.com and email.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the message I just posted. Tell me if that's
Nope, I'll do it.
right. Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
Oh, did I type it wrong? I put a space in it.
Nope,
Okay.
you're using A
Oh, yeah. Oh,
instead of an E.
I see. ER. Okay. All right. I hope he sees that, because Wiley's good company. I always enjoy having him come in here, but got to get these little wrinkles ironed out. So more and more of the guys are getting in pretty seamlessly, and we're having less glitches like that, but still got a few to iron out. I'm excited about this Cardinal kit, though. Another first thing I'm going to do is to put wing-mounted landing gear on it. Never built one like that before. Okay, let's see. Minnesota. Oh, hey, Minnesota Mike.
Howard Rush was not here for the third time.
You gonna come in and visit with us live, Mike?
Hello, Mike. Howard Rush was not here. Brett Buck was not here.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of the big heavy hitters weren't here this year. If this was the year for me to make it, but I'm a no-show.
Well, you can't control the wind. You never know what's going to happen when you take off in a control line flight. Sometimes it's with you and sometimes it's against you.
At least it wasn't raining.
That morning, I think it was Monday morning, I looked at the beginning of the live feed that you did, and it looked like there was no wind. The smoke from the planes was just standing dead still after they passed by. But later on in the day, I guess it came up.
Yeah, I definitely like no wind.
I like a little bit of wind, enough to where you got the wind at your back and you can keep the lines tight without having to backpedal.
I don't have that problem with the airplane I'm flying, because I'm flying that Super Tiger with a 13.6 propeller. I've got enough torque, and it just drives right through the prop wash. Them weenie electrics and them high-pitched props are real good for brake, but as far as drive goes, they don't have a whole lot of drive. I was the only non-piped engine here. Nobody was running the Super Tiger.
Those high-pitched props probably chop a bigger hole in the air going through it too. Leave more of a vacuum the next time you come back through. No lift. I'm just guessing on that. It seems like they would, though. Terry Forbes building a 60 profile with a Strega wing. All right.
Well, I'm hoping Wally gets back, because he was a good supporter, and I can't find him on the Stunt Hanger forum. Maybe that's why he can't get in.
Yeah, it must be. I think he'd have been back by now.
I
Ditto.
bought Gene Martin's books. He had 6 books that were that thick of every airplane ever built. So now I got 3 views for everything.
All right. Man, you got a lot of research on that. Okay. Terry is talking about building a 60 profile with a hollow fuselage.
Like Al Rabe did, yeah.
Rabe, that's what he meant to type.
Al Rabe.
Sparky, one time when I first started watching your videos, I saw you take a profile and dig the side of it out and embed the controls and then cover back over it. I don't know if I ever saw the finished product or not, but that was a pretty interesting way to do it.
There's Wally.
Hey.
Let me talk to Wally.
Hey,
Wally.
Hey guys.
Wally, I don't know your username on Stunt Hanger. I can't find you.
You know what? I can't remember the way I did it either, Sparky. I tried like 4 or 5 of them in there just now and did the password that you said. Nothing worked. So then I came back through YouTube and got in.
What is your username? What do you log in with?
That I can't remember, tell you the truth, because I wrote.
You're not Wally.
It's probably Wally Rides KTM 05, all lowercase.
Nope. There's no Wally in the database.
Then,
what is your email address? Type it out on the chat.
It's Wally83204@yahoo.com. So if there's no Wally in there, it ain't in there either. So I don't know if I ever got registered.
Okay, let me try now. Wally, WALLY
83204 at Yahoo. 83204
at Yahoo.
Yeah.
It's very important that you guys use your real first and last names. No matches found. Just register with that email address and use your real name. You can change the display name later.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not on there.
So I can use that. See, and I did that. I put Wally Haskett and used your password 123. It didn't work. Then I went into Wally with my email and did the same thing and didn't work either.
You're not registered. That's why.
Okay.
You got to register again. And if you register now, I'll approve it now. If not,
okay. Let me go back in there right now and try it again then, because I'd like to get it done.
You don't have to sign off of YouTube to register. Just open up another window and pull up Stunt Hanger and register.
Okay, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, let's see. Terry wants me to give him my email address. So it's Terry. It is RKNRUSTY. It's Rockin' Rusty at AOL.com. RKNRUSTY at AOL.com. I didn't want to type it out in the public chat.
Won't let Minnesota Mike register. Clovis Mike on Stunt Hanger. Clovis. Let's look that one up.
Clovis. That's in New Mexico, isn't it?
I don't know. If everybody would use their names, I could find them.
Well,
search for
you early on you wrote that you required everybody to use their real name, but I guess you don't police that too tightly.
I do, but they screw up. Clovis Panera is what I have for Clovis. That's the only one on there.
Minnesota Mike says he's from California.
Okay,
Did you?
Sparky, I've got my name in there as your username, and password. It says I'll put password
You can put whatever you want.
123, and
You
I
can.
hit login, and it doesn't. It comes up as that username does not exist.
You're not registering.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
Oh,
rather than
let
the
me.
login, use the
Never
register
mind.
box.
Okay, let me get to the register. Well, on your register. Okay.
I'm gonna go get me a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
You got to hit the register button.
Call me stupid, I guess.
Top of the screen, there should be a button on the right. It says register.
Yeah, I'm in.
Or
Yeah, I'm in there now. So now I can put my own password, whatever.
right, whatever
Okay.
you want. All you guys that are having problems logging in, we'll do one at a time.
And then you got to check, I'm not a robot.
Right?
And then down, register, hit register, and it says an error has occurred. The letters you typed do not match the letters that were shown in the picture.
Right, but type in those letters in the picture.
Where is this picture at? So I got to go back. Now I get a web page not is expired. Oh my word. So now I got to start over.
Send me all your information to stuntvideos@stunthanger.com. Let me,
Okay.
I mean, it'll take me like 2 seconds to do this. Here, let me type it in the thing again.
Let's see.
EIDE. All you guys that are listening to this that want to get fixed up, send me an email to that address right there, stuntvideos@stunthanger.com, with your real first and last name. You can change it at any time, and the password that you want to use. Your email address will be the one you send it to me on, and I'll fix it up because it takes literally 2 seconds to do it. Let me know when you send it. Nothing. My email address in the chat window.
Hold on here just a second. Let me get in there.
Let's do this. Control C.
Yeah, you can copy it from there and paste it where you need to.
Now they're in both chat windows. The chat window on the live show and the chat window on YouTube. And I'm going to have to sign off because Steve is back.
All right.
You don't want to hear me talk, do you? It doesn't matter, huh? I'm trying to get these guys.
Pretty soon we'll get this thing smoothed out and actually talk about some airplanes.
Mike. And so to Mike, send me your name, your username, real first and last name to that email address and the password you want to use, and it'll take me 2 seconds to get you registered. Are you guys looking at the chat box on YouTube?
Yeah, I've got it up on the screen now. Let me see. Where do you hit it to send it?
In your email. Copy it and put it in your email and send me an email. Mike, you're going to have to send me an email to that email address so that I have your email. Otherwise, I can't register you. We got any emails coming through yet?
Hold on, it's going to be there in just a minute. I got to go back through here again. Okay.
I got no email yet.
Terry says he just sent me one. I'll check on that.
Forward it to me, Rusty, and I'll handle it. What?
Oh, come on here.
Get registered. Send me your real first and last name to that email address.
Now my stinking internet's dropping out.
I'm still waiting on an email from Terry to come through. My Outlook stuck on 66%. Tom Creasy says, I am here, be on in a few. Hello, guys. Hello, Tom. Come on in here. We need some interesting material for discussion.
Should be getting one, Sparky.
Oh,
Nope.
right.
Stunt videos at stunthanger.com.
I can't believe it's not doing it. Because I'm in my email stuff, go to compose.
Right. There we go. I got you.
Okay. My computer, some
All
reason
right.
I don't know what the deal is with my computer tonight. It's usually pretty good.
I'm still waiting on Terry to come in.
All
I'm
right.
sorry to
So
foul
now-
you guys all up when we're supposed to be talking airplanes.
I just got a message. It was from Will Davis.
Admin. I'm going to register a member.
Okay, pass.
Registration. Username, email address. Control V. And let's see. We want to Wally Haskett. Control C. Yeah, Control C. And Control V. And your password.
That'll work for me.
Control C. Control V.
Terry, yours hadn't come in yet, but I'll keep checking. Outlook's slow sometimes.
All right. You've been registered, so type in what you sent me in that email exactly if you want to log in.
Okay, I'm going to try that right now.
Yeah, you were never in the system or it wouldn't have let me do it.
This might go down in history as the slowest starting video chat we've ever done. I'm still waiting on Terry's email to come through, but I remember
Minnesota Mike said, "Don't mind my Wi-Fi is down." Well, how are you on if your Wi-Fi is down?
You might be doing that through cellular.
It worked.
All right.
Good, Sparky. Good deal.
Yeah, the forum opened up for you. Now you can see it all.
Yep, that's good. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, oh, I see.
It's all
Minnesota
good.
Mike says he's on phone real slow.
Yeah, I don't know. My computer's usually really good, but tonight it just not what it usually is. I don't know what the deal is.
It's probably me draining the bandwidth because I'm on this stupid motel Wi-Fi.
Friday nights, generally the internet is busier on Friday nights than any other night too.
Yeah. How was the was the weather today?
Rained until noon.
So you guys didn't get a start until afternoon then, huh?
Yeah, it was about noon when I came back from Dayton. There you go. Anybody that wants to be registered on Stunt Hangers, send me an email with your real name and password that you want to use to that email address. And if I don't get it tonight, I'll get it tomorrow. I did not get your email.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Charles.
How's it going?
Well, we're kind of glitchy right now trying to get people logged in, signed up, etc. So we hadn't actually talked a whole lot about airplanes, but Sparky gave us a brief report on the Nats.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey, my brother from another mother.
True that. True that.
My suntan is not quite as good as yours yet, but it'll be there.
You know, I can tell that you have some melanin. You would tan up. I can tell you would get dark if you wanted. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I appreciate all those videos you took, Sparky. They're very good.
Top of my head's still white because I have my hat on.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's better than having two big old white eyes because you had your sunglasses on all day.
I had them on too.
Yeah, there is a raccoon under there.
Yeah. That's the way it goes.
Minnesota Mike says it bounced back to him, says there isn't an email.
Well, Wally sent me one.
He didn't get it typed in right then, because if you get it typed in right, it'll go over. Must have missed a letter or something in there.
All right. Now I'm sending Terry an email. He can't seem to send one to me, so I'm going to send one to him. Here we go. Boy, ain't technology great? All right.
Ridiculous.
New email. Control V. Ping.
Charles, you been able to work on a plane?
You know, I actually went flying today. I flew my Nobler today. I had
Great.
I had some holes in the fuel tank. The actual screws that hold the cowl down were actually piercing the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I fixed that and relocated the mounting screws and flew it the last couple of days, and so I'm pretty happy. I put about 6 flights on today.
Great. It's good flying airplane, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I look forward to getting my Striga flying again, though. The Striga is a much better flying plane, though.
Yeah. Did you get your engine put together?
No, I'm gonna probably have to have someone machine something for me because I have it right here, as a matter of fact. This motor, it has a.
Okay, hold on, Charles. I got Mike's email. I'm going to register him now. Copy email address. Okay.
My camera fell off.
You know, your password here, Mike, has 2 spaces in between the 2 words. Let me pull that back. Oh, man.
I'll pull it out of the sack.
Copy and paste it just like you have it written in this email. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Let's see, the username is...
Yeah, it looks good. I love rear exhaust motors. That's good.
It's 61 is VMAX. That, and I got this
There you go, Mike.
flex extension for it to go into a tune pipe.
Okay. Yeah, I see those VMAXs 61s all the time on eBay.
That's where I got this one. It was like $50. I thought I'm going to pick that one up.
Let me see it.
I've got another one downstairs, but my other one, this one's almost new. I mean, it's really
Let me see
clean.
it. Oh, yeah. VMAX.
Yeah.
What is that, a 40 or 46?
It's 61.
Oh, it's heavy.
It is. I need to pick me up one of those aluminum cased ones, like what you got down there.
Well, what I got down here is this little jewel right here.
That one there. Is that a 60?
75.
Oh, that's what I need right there.
What's that? Is that a stalker?
PA.
Oh, a PA. Oh, man.
I really like the sound of them PAs, man. They sound good.
Brand new, unrun PA. 75.
With a Brewline filter on it. Is that one you got from Chris?
You bet. I bought 6 of them from him.
Good for you.
I got to make it work, though, because I ain't got $1 zillion like you do.
Minnesota Mike asked Charles, are you going to the Fresno contest in October?
You know, that's what I'm planning on. I'm planning on it. I'm hoping and believing to be there. Hopefully my Strega in tow and maybe my Nobler also.
Minnesota Mike, did he get logged in the Stunt Hanger?
Oh, let's see. The last word we've got from him is sent again.
Well, I got his email and I registered him on Stunt Hanger.
That was before that was Minnesota Mike asking Charles that too. Okay. Minnesota Mike says just make it one.
Make what one?
It.
Minnesota Mike, did you get logged in?
I mean, are we all having problems getting logged in, Sparky? Is it something that's just this guys that don't know computers?
There you go.
I had a little trouble starting the stream up on Monday night, but I finally got it.
Yeah, Rusty, I listened to you. I was one of the guys that was in YouTube that listened to you the last couple of times you were on last Friday night and Monday night, and I couldn't get in, but I listened to the whole broadcast.
Minnesota
and I really
Mike,
wanted to get in and talk,
hold
but
on.
I couldn't.
Did Minnesota Mike get logged in?
He says, thanks, Sparky.
Yeah, for what? Did he get logged in?
I don't know. But Monday night, we didn't even have a chat box in YouTube. I never did figure out what the problem was with that.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't write to you or anything.
Because I live stream using my OBS software and didn't change it back.
Yeah, I figured it was something about that. Knew it had to be your fault.
In fact, it wasn't Friday night. You went fishing Friday night. It was Thursday.
That's right, it was.
Let me see if Minnesota Mike got logged in. God.
Frustration is creeping in.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, you're working with some dummies. Not everybody knows this stuff.
I don't know it either.
Line pilot.
You know a whole hell of a lot more than we do, though. You do it. I just like tell my kids, this is get my grandson to come over here and help me because I'm lost.
Well, he was registered in 2006. Under a different email address, and it was Clovis Mike. Let me reset that password for him. Oh, I got to change his email address. Yeah, that's the problem.
So it's not on his end. Oh, my word.
Oh, it is. It is on his end.
Yeah, he threw a curveball in.
Oh, man. The complications.
It's going to say that there's already a member with that. Let me see.
Well, the Blue Angels only get to fly with 5 jets. They got one that's broke.
His old email address was at yahoo.com.
How many do the Blue Angels generally fly in a show?
6. Yeah.
Why'd they only have 5 this time?
They just got a broken jet. What they're flying is the reject stuff that they don't use on the aircraft carriers and that kind of thing.
Where? Mike, you're going to have to be more descriptive. Pass out what name tags and just make what one?
Scratch it and start over.
Yeah, he's only made one post on that other other account.
See, Charles, I couldn't get in because I'd never registered. I thought I'd registered.
Oh, okay.
And so it was confusing the whole works because I kept trying everything in the book, trying to get in, and I'd never registered. It's like I thought for sure I'd registered somewhere down the line.
Well, you haven't.
Yeah, I never did. But if I had my
So if you're not registered, you can just you can look at the form, but you can't do any searches, right?
I couldn't do nothing. Yeah.
Can't see the whole form either.
Okay.
Let me see here. I gotta do something for Mike. He's having a heck of a time here. What the heck? We want to copy this email address. I think his password is screwing him up because he got 2 spaces in it. Search for members. Control V, paste, search. No matches found. Isn't that something?
Well, Mike's been in here with us a few times, but that might be because before you changed the forum, but that shouldn't make any difference. I don't know.
So I need to figure out how to do this. Let's see. Control C. I want to search for members. And what has happened here is trying to redo things without assistance. Okay, I've got him there. So this is him. But we have a different email address in. So we're going to put the email address that I just got from him. Copy. And we're going to change this email address. Account settings. And we're going to change that here. Control V. And I am going to type a temporary password in for him. And the answer is, what's your dog's name? I have no idea. Okay. Change the profile.
Mike says unable to verify URL.
There you go. Now try, Mike. Your username is Clovis Mike. But we need to change that. Control C. Your username is your real name. Control V. Change profile.
Mike,
your username is your real name, and I've changed your email address to the one that you sent me, the Gmail address. So now you should have got an email from me, a couple of them. February 11th, 2006. He's made 1 post. Probably because he lost the... Okay, try it now. Get your email and try it now. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Okay. Hey, if it was me, I'd need your help. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're all there for everybody. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Help, 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 help.
Oh boy. When you get logged in, come back to YouTube, Mike, and let us know you got in. And write down the password or change the password. I gave you a temporary password. But I'm going to have to cut it short here, guys. 10 o'clock, almost.
That's okay. We made some
We got
progress.
365 people logged in. You'd think it.
Uh-oh, here comes somebody.
Here comes
Here's
Tom. Hey, Tom, what's going on, bud?
Howdy.
Hey, Tom.
How you
Did you
doing,
go
Charles?
home?
Doing well.
Yes, I did. I
Fixed up.
got home late last night. Yep. Yeah, I wish I could have stayed, but I had things I had things I had to do. We had the mail car break down, and my buddy he had some problems, so we decided, well, we better just skedaddle.
Did you get the bastard fixed?
No, but it's home and it's downstairs already, and I'll probably start on it sometime after I get caught up a couple days on some work around here. Then I'll be getting on it.
You just cracked up the empennage, right? Nothing's wrong with the rest of the plane.
Yep. Yeah. The wings just solid. Didn't do anything to it, or the rest of the fuselage, the nose, the motor, tank, everything's great.
Right.
You know, landing gear's great. So.
Excellent.
I got to log off, guys. You have a good night.
All right,
Mike.
thanks for all the videos and coverage. Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's keeping me update. Thanks.
Remember, Mike, if you don't get on, send me an email to the one that I sent you. I've sent you several now. And we'll see you again. Fair winds, tight lines.
Yeah.
All right,
See ya.
see ya.
See ya.
Okay.
All right.
I know I got the same problem Sparky does. I got white eyes on where I had my glasses, you know.
Yeah, you got a good tan everywhere else, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I keep getting darker, you know.
Hey, you guys think about the live updates on the scores. That was pretty neat this year.
Yeah, I like the live updates. Boy, I tell you what, though, man, it's really amazing to watch these guys fly. They make it look so easy.
Don't they, though? I'll tell you what.
And the performances of some of these planes is just unreal. That shark of Hernandez, I tell you what, that thing is just wow. I mean, there's not a quiver in it. The corner just like whoop, whoop.
Yeah, they look like real square corners, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have a video I shot of Orestes here at the Golden State Stunt Championship a couple years ago, and what I was more impressed with mostly was his stature and how he's actually handling the plane and handling his handle. Because it's like the way he moves, it's just really precise. There's no extra movement, and
No
I was really impressed. What, Sparky?
Yeah, I
Sparky?
looked at myself flying, and I flail around. I really need to work on that.
I was really impressed with the rest of these when he does the reverse wing over, how he comes across over the top. Then he just turns his torso, and this is how he's really crisp. And then when he does the overhead 8, normally when I go back, I'm doing this, and then when I pull out, I turn around
Right.
and pull out. but he actually keeps his hip forward, and he just turns around and reaches back and comes back.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that's how he.
That's
and
incredible.
that's how he terminates the terminates the four-leaf clover as well.
Yeah.
So he does the and then he goes and he turns around and reaches back. His feet does not move.
Are you talking about Hernandez?
Yeah, Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was. Wow.
Yeah, just like I like watching the pilot as well as the plane because you can really get some cues on how they fly so precise.
Yep.
They're how they do it.
Now some people go down into a squat when they do the overhead eights too.
That's
Yeah,
a bad
you ever
dog.
seen
that one that Dan Banjock when he's squatting.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these guys fly. And then Dave Fitzgerald when he does the overhead eight, he really spreads his legs pretty far apart and kind of squats down, and he's really able to arch his back and look up at the top. Much more than I move.
Yeah, like Chris Rudd, man. He holds his handle right here in front of his face and going around. It looks like he's aiming a rifle,
Yeah.
Right.
Comes up.
And that's how Paul Walker is too. Paul Walker has that like the sight off of his top of his hand. He's just sighting down the lines.
Yeah, they all got their own style, that's for sure.
And then Brett Buck, he has his hand kind of low. His hand is actually not high like Paul Walker. His hand's kind of low.
He doesn't move his arm very much either.
Yes,
I've only seen maybe one or two videos of him flying, but yeah, he just flies with his with his arm still and just works with his wrist.
Yeah, so I watch the pilots a lot just so I can pick up something.
Yeah.
And
I fly with my arms, out like that.
straight out, okay.
And I always feel like that way, if it gets a little loose, I can pull in on it.
Right. I was talking to Brett Buck earlier this year. I was asking him about why does Dave Fitzgerald do this and do the other, and he was telling me that before in the old days when they did the hourglass, they would go up and then at the very top, the second corner, they would be extended, and then even on their tiptoes because they didn't have much power back then, so they could pull down to get line tension. So they would extend themselves and then pull down to get line tension. I saw them doing that. And I go, why are they doing that? What is that all about? And he explained it to me. And yes, it's really interesting.
Yeah,
when I'm trimming a plane, I like to get it straight overhead and a wing over, and then just pull down on it a little bit, and then go back up and see if the plane will pull itself back tight or if it stays loose from me pulling down and then raising back up. I like for it to be able to pull the lines back tight again when it's straight overhead.
Well, I tell you, them hourglasses they do, it's just like a straight X. I mean, it's just wow.
Yeah.
Amazing how good these guys fly. Man.
Yeah.
Hourglass is one of my best stunts, except for the last corner. I tend to make it too high. Try not to keep it too wide because it makes the corner easier. And a lot of people try to make it wider, thinking it's going to be less scary, but it gives you a sharper corner to turn when you get to the bottom if you've made a wide cross, almost turning it on its back. But yeah, just if you go up top and then make it as short across as you can and then come back down, I think it feels, I don't know, it feels better to me when I do that.
Have you guys ever heard of the airplane called the Papoose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, like 1920 size.
Right.
Yeah, I on my walk around, I picked that kid up. No one picked it up. No one would pick it up, and I got looking at it earlier, and it was donated by Karen Allen House.
Oh, really?
Or Brick House.
Right.
Alan Brickhouse's wife. So, yeah, I was like, whoa, I picked it up.
So is this there sitting there waiting for someone to pick it up? Anybody could have it?
Yeah, it was donated to the beginner event.
Oh, that's cool.
And you do your walk around, you know, and you get to pick out, you know, you get to walk around probably 2 times, 3 times, you know, and you get to pick out, you know, each person gets to pick out what they want. And yeah, I was like, wow. So I was looking at it today for the first time, got the plans out and looked at it. Hell, I could, you know, if I could kind of build this like in a weekend.
Mhm.
But finishing is another story.
That's true. That's another story.
I could get it all put together and get all the dope on it, but the color, yeah.
What kind of things did they have for the beginners? They had two or what?
No, they had a Legacy 40, they had a Legacy 60.
Wow.
And the juniors go first, and then the basic flight, and then the rest of us, the beginners, you know. There was 9 of us, but the time I got there, I was in 3rd. By the time I got there, those are gone.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, my mouth was drooling. You know, I wanted that Legacy.
Yeah, that's it. That's an Allen Brickhouse design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one.
Wow. Yeah.
Which one, the 40 or the 60?
60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I get my camera hooked up to where I can move it around, I'll have to get in there and show it to you. It's in the other room.
Well, my friend is building a Legacy 60. He actually, it's all tissued and has primer. And so I've seen the 60. It's a nice looking plane.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
Yeah, I was gonna get the 40 because I got so many. I've got a lot of Ford OS 46s. So I was like, well, I wouldn't have to buy an engine.
True that.
Talking about that, I got me a little jewel here.
What'd you get?
Oh boy, LA 46.
Guess what? Is that thing a Hemi? You bet it is. Look at that. It's all been redone.
Oh, they milled the head down, huh?
Yeah, it's been done by Byron Barker.
Oh, very nice.
That'll be a good running engine.
And it's been retimed. And I thought, well, I'm gonna see how I can make this run. Mine a good 4.2 run. Like I said, I'm so used to my new in the box LA 46s, and I set them up with the Venturi and the needle valve assembly off of an FP40,
right?
And you know, and I use a 762 muffler on it, and I get a good 4.2 run but I put in a lot of castor oil to help out also on that.
Move it more toward the center. I can't really see the motor. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
You got the back plate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's nice. Metal back plate, Super Tiger needle.
Yep.
Very tall Venturi.
Yeah, that'd be great for an inverted, so I can get my finger on it without getting my knuckle caught every time it starts.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get to the Venturi to crank on those inverted.
Flip it around, you know.
Yeah.
And it's got a real extended, I think, needle valve. You know, so yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how it's going to run. That's what's going to go on the Bastard.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm just going to unscrew it and put this on there, and I'm going to experiment. I since it's been redone and retimed, I don't know if I want to use my 762 muffler, because the reason why I use it is the restriction of the output or the output of the muffler right at the end. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd call it, like, you know, the tailpipe.
Yeah, the stinger.
Yeah. That's right. That's what I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. Anyway,
You might want to do what I do to mine, you know, and chop that stinger off and open it up to about 7/16 of an inch, 3/8, 7/16.
yeah,
Um,
well, I'm going to put a tongue muffler on it and see what it does.
That'll do it. I think.
Tongue
that'll be
muffler.
good.
Plus, you know, I haven't weighed it yet, but with the head being done, I'm just curious on how much it weighs. You know, the Venturi is just to me it looks like polyethylene. You know, it's a plastic.
Yeah.
And
it might be a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I know how much the LA 46 weighs. It weighs 8.9. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
How much did that cost? How much did that engine cost?
Well, it's a long story, but I got it really super cheap.
Very good.
Yeah, really super cheap.
Now that is very cool.
Well, I mean, what happened if I told you it was $30?
Oh my goodness! Wow.
You stole it.
Yeah, yeah. He wanted $60 because that's what he paid Barker, Byron Barker. That's what he paid to have this tree done. So, you know, yeah, that's one of my treasures. He was a good old boy, and me and him hung around, and I invited him to a couple speed circles, you know, that he hasn't been to. I love the Goodyear and the race, and there's another one. I can't remember what the hell its name. It kind of looks like a wing from a shoestring, and they have 15 sizes and 25 size motors, and they're a lot slower than a little bit. Well, I don't know. I think they're a little bit slower than the Goodyear race, and that was a really cool race to watch. I like watching them races.
Huh.
I might even. I've got a Goodyear. Like I said Thursday, I got a Goodyear for Margaret Jane plans. So I might just, me and my buddy, we're kind of interested in it. So we just might build 2 of them and just go have some fun.
Very cool.
Yep. So yeah, that's what we did after our events. Went to some races. They had some Pulse Jess races. Didn't get a chance to see them, but we heard them. And man, them things just fly. It seems like they fly a gazillion miles an hour, you know?
Wow.
Oh, yep. But I tell you what, I'm glad that out there, out in that sun all day, I tell you what, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I bet.
What was the temperature like?
Oh, it was like 93 with 105 to 110 index. And,
Yeah,
you
humid.
know, you go out and you think you're getting sunburnt, but you're not, because that's just the heat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw.
yes, Thursday, you wanted to see my award there?
Yes.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Hang on, let me click you up. All right.
Congratulations, man. Look at that.
Yep.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Is everybody locked in? Was everybody locked in on that picture?
Yep.
I've got a new feature
yeah.
now. Okay. How about now? Is everybody locked in on Charles?
Nope.
Nope.
Really?
About you, Rusty.
Okay. And I got a
Tom
new
there a minute
feature.
ago.
I thought I had it set to lock in on whoever I highlighted, but I'll figure that out. I want to be able to do that, so when somebody's showing something, I can force it to show them to y'all. But I guess it's not working like I thought it did.
That's over there on the left-hand side, the green. It's right below the quotation blue, and it's the screen share.
Yeah.
Maybe that's.
Well, no, this is something else. This is the cameraman app, and y'all might not have that, but like right now, Okay, how about try it? Let me try it now. Is everybody locked in on Tom right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I had already
Okay.
clicked on
I
Ray.
was. Now I'm on
Okay.
Charles.
How about now? Is everybody locked in on Wally right now?
That would be me.
I'm so clicked in on Thomas, and now I'm clicked on you.
Okay.
Now
Oh,
I'm
well.
on, now I'm
Yeah,
on
I
Charles.
just go down and click on whoever, and then that's
Yeah,
That's what I do
my
too.
screen.
That's what I did. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that way you wouldn't have to. It's just automatic.
I just got an email from Minnesota. Mike still says URL is unverified. I don't know. Okay. We're not getting back into that right now. I don't know. Oh, well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's happened to me before. I remember. I don't remember what the solution was. I remember getting that same error message. But that was too long ago to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when I have that problem, it's usually a Wi-Fi problem on my end, anyway.
Well, you didn't have any problem getting in on over there in the motel.
I was surprised the motel I stayed at, man. The Wi-Fi worked pretty good.
Yeah, I couldn't get in and talk or nothing. The only thing I could do was sit here and listen.
Oh, that night, yeah, there was no chat.
Yeah. Well, there was Thursday night and then Monday night, and did Frank come on and do this host earlier? You know,
Frank?
apparently not. Frank.
Well, what's the question again?
I thought I seen something about Frank gonna host earlier. Must not have happened.
No, I don't know anything about it.
About Frank Williams. There was some videos of Frank Williams' flight there that was posted.
Oh, that must have been what I seen then. That must.
No, it was from the Nats.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch. That's what it would have been then.
Yeah.
Actually, Sparky might get somebody in addition to me to host it from maybe the West Coast, and that way I'll have some backup, and it'll be better time-wise for the West Coasters who are so much earlier than I am.
Oh yeah.
I log in at 9:30 here. You know, it's still 6:30 out there. They just barely getting home from work and getting supper, and so it's kind of, kind of early.
Hey, by the way, Rusty, I ran into a lot of guys that complimented you for hosting the Hangout.
Oh, cool.
So they said keep up the good work.
That's
All
right.
right. Thanks for passing that along.
Keep it coming. Keep the videos coming too.
Yeah,
I love them videos.
Yeah, I hadn't been doing as many lately, but hope I can get back to it. I have not been flying as much because of various, troubles I've had with my ability to get out there, but I hope I can get back and keep the YouTube videos coming. I used to do it a lot more. But thanks, Tom, for passing that along. I'm glad to know people approve of my hosting.
Yeah, Howard was one of them. He joins us every now and then.
Howard who?
Oh, I can't remember. I knew you was going to ask me that.
Howard Rush?
No. He's the one that has a great big huge shop, and it's lit up like a Christmas tree. And usually when he comes on, he sounds like a little
That's
chipmunk.
right. I know exactly who you're talking about. But
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. How you doing, bud?
Is this the first time you've joined Hangout since you've been at the Nats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was there the whole time, man. Yeah. I was walking back with the pieces of my bastard, and he's like, I was kind of like in the background, behind everybody, trying to sneak my airplane, And he comes walking up and goes, "What the hell happened?"
And everybody,
what the hell were you thinking?
He got so excited because he did the most beautiful wing over and inside loops of his life. Got so excited he forgot to come out inverted. Will Davis
Yep.
was asking me what happened, and I told him your story.
Who said that?
Will Davis was asking. He said, "Did Tom Creasy crash his plane?" And I told him, "You know who Will Davis is?
Oh,
I do. He's funny.
He's the president of my club, MCLS, the Metrolina Control Line Society, but he watches all of these when he's taking breaks at work or eating lunch or something. He never comes in live with us, but he always watches them. So he knows all of you guys.
I did get a hold of a video that someone videotaped my crash.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great. Maybe I'll see that on the tube.
Yeah, I was getting ready to do a little posting on Facebook, you know. So that might be popping up.
Geez, I don't think
a video on things not to do.
Yeah, that's all right. I post whether it's a crash or a beautiful flight. I post them all.
That's,
But I don't think I've looked at Facebook in 2 weeks. I need to take a look and see. It all comes in so fast. If you don't look at it in 2 hours, it's like having a page 18 feet long of stuff, and I miss more than I see. People might
I'm
think
just glad I got my plane to fly.
Yeah, which one, the Ringmaster or the Nobler?
Both.
Both? Did you get the Nobler fixed out?
Yeah, I got it running good. And then lap times were good, 5.25, did a couple of loops in a row. And then it ran out of gas, and then it floated in at me, and I broke the motor mounts.
oh no.
Oh, damn.
The Nobler?
Yeah.
The Nobler?
Nothing big.
What did you
No big deal.
find out with the Runaway?
Just replaced, bypass that. Just bypass that remote needle valve and put in a whole Venturi.
Oh, yep.
Got it from that Jim Lee.
Yep, we talked about that.
Yep. Started right up.
Speaking of needle valves, Tom, if you put that new LA 46 on the bastard, you might want to consider putting a short needle valve, a needle in that thing.
Like this wire here sticking out.
Yeah.
Now
That's just a bent needle waiting to happen.
I saw that'd snap that right off. I seen a what are you saying, Rusty? You saying I'm gonna you're saying I can do my outsides?
All I know is what would happen to me if I put that big long thing on there. I just know what would happen to me if I had that on mine. So, just saying.
I did see a nifty thing, you know, where you put the plates on your engine,
Right.
Keep them off the blocks. Well, a guy took the plate and extended it up like a V. So,
Right.
it was straight at the top for a little bit. So if he does hit upside down, it's going to hit on that plate and not the needle.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
You bolt them right onto the engine, and you can make them go up into bend them into an L, and that'll protect your needle valve. But I've been going away from them. I've been using Inya needle valves because they have a spring on them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
That way, if they tip over, they don't do
those.
nothing to them.
all my 46s that I have all are the stock spring type.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to use them everywhere.
So, but I'll be real careful not to crash. But I just want to.
I've been known to hit it.
try it and see
Right,
how it
smash it.
runs with this.
I've been known to whack them with my chicken stick too.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you really do some whacking with that baby.
Yeah, I've got such bad elbows anymore that I can't put a manly whip into it, so I have to haul off and clobber it.
You
Backwards.
clobber them pretty good too.
I roll it backwards till it's on compression, and then flip it in the wrong direction. Wham! Like that. I
Yeah,
won't do
I
that
haven't
with a prop, but I'll do it to the APCs.
On these
I haven't
LAs,
seen anybody do that like you do.
on these LAs, I just take these 3 fingers here, grab a hold of the spinner, and go
I
like
had never been able to
you
do
go
that.
like that,
I can't do it either.
and you go reverse direction when you spin it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it, you're doing clockwise, and you just snap it like that, and the motor comes over and goes ring, just starts right up.
Really?
I've never successfully done that.
Neither have I.
It works really well on a first start time, but man, when you're flying back to back and the engines are already hot already, it's hard to start. So I don't even mess around. I just grab my starter and just start it right up.
I've when I was at Triple Tree, I decided to use the electric starter, and that was a lot easier on things. I get worn out when it doesn't start after 3 flips, and I'm just whacking away. By the time I get it cranked, I'm worn out.
Yep.
Anymore, that's everything I got's got spinners, and I use an electric starter because it just rip and you're going.
Yeah.
No, there's no messing around.
You get a little, you get that rubber trace, on your spinner there about an inch back, but that cleans right off with some acetone.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And if you paint your spinner, I don't use the starter.
Yeah, if you paint it, you wouldn't want to do that and rub the paint right off of them.
But it's real nice when you want to do a bunch of practice flights, and you just want to go right up, right, bam, bam, bam. I just my spinner. I just start that starter and just and I'm going to the lines. I'm there to fly when I'm practicing.
Until I decided I needed the electric starter, I usually take the spinner off for contests. That way I can check the prop, make sure it's tight. Because, if it comes loose when you're trying to crank it, then you just wasted an attempt. So. But then on my twister, I need the spinner for weight. So I get it. I've tightened the nut down probably tighter than I should just to make sure it stays on there.
Yeah, I got them LA's 46s down pat. It's like when I'm out there and I put up my hand and I'm ready to go, I take one flip just like that. My engine's running. My equipment.
That's got to be the most user-friendly engine there is.
Yep. One flip and there you go. You're off and running with the race.
Yeah. How many choke turns do you put on it before you flip it? Just 2 for me.
Yeah, while I was there, I did do a vertical 8, and I did outside squares on my backup plane that I bought. That's what I practiced. A couple nights we went out flying. A bunch of us met at the grassy knoll. It was a lot of fun there.
Vertical 8's been giving me trouble lately. When I first started doing them, I did them really nice and straight, but seems like the more I start thinking about it, the worse they get. So I need to work on my vertical 8s. Hourglasses are good, but vertical 8's not so much.
Yeah, I started, I went inverted, and Larry Fruits, the director of District 6, told me, he goes, there's an easy way to learn. And I was inverted, and he goes, go ahead and do a square loop inverted. Because then you got 2 corners that you've done, and you're used to it, leveling out. And then when you go down, go straight to the ground, it's a lot easier. You know what I mean? Because you're up there, you've already made 2 corners. So, it's not so scary to point a perfectly good airplane down towards the ground.
Yeah.
And
so have you done that yet, Tom?
Huh?
Have you done that yet?
Pardon?
Have you done that yet? Have you done that outside the square?
Yes, I did that a couple times.
Oh, wow.
Well, I did it more than that. I did it like 6 times. And then finally, I was right side up, and I went up 45 degrees, and I just said, hell with it. And I pointed her straight down. She went straight as an arrow. And I went down again, and she went whoop, right over. And man, I was like, holy crap. And
That's pretty impressive.
And not only did I do it once, I did 2 of them in a row.
Wow, that's very impressive.
There you go. There's your pattern.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
And you know what? And then I come out of it, and I'm like jumping up and down in the circle. All right. You know, and I got done with my flight, and I said, did you guys see that?
Wow. That is very impressive.
That's
go,
cool.
what?
And nobody's ever looking when I do something really cool.
Yeah, nobody's seen it.
Well, you know, when I was trying to learn the outside square, I can't tell you how many tankfuls I went through, because I would take off, and my whole ambition was to do an outside square, right?
Yep.
So I'd take off flying level, get up high, and I would go, okay, next lap. Okay. Next one. Okay. Next one.
Shaking and out.
I couldn't pull the trigger. I just kept going, the next one, the next one. Now I go, oh, I think I'm getting around of gas, so maybe the next flight. And it would happen over and over and over again. I just couldn't pull the trigger. So I'm really impressed.
Well, what helped me was going inverted and going into the outside loop inverted, because that got my hand used to, okay, I'm going down, you know, and I'm, you know, my hand's already in the motion of going down on each corner. That I just did that, you know, several times inverted. And then finally, you know, I went right side up and went up there, and I was just doing this with my, you know, I had the muscle flexing going, you know, thing going, and yeah, man, it surprised me.
Wow.
And no one saw it.
Yeah.
No one saw it, man.
And it was standing outside the circle, right? They were supposed to be watching. No, they was sitting there just yapping to each other.
You know, I used to think that people watch me fly too, and I realized that people have better things to do than watch me fly.
It's just
Well, if I was
intuitive.
down there, I'd watch you fly.
You want to point it straight at the ground like that.
I would. I like watching guys fly. I love watching my boys fly, especially my oldest. It's a blast.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, thank you, Wally.
Yeah.
You know how I tell people how to learn how to fly inverted is to turn their hand on its side.
That's what
so
my
that
son does.
You know, and then have a physical reminder they're inverted, and then I tell them to have like a anthem of down is up, down is up, down is up when they're flying, and then when they get back up, you know, just be back up to vertical, but get a physical reminder, and then they're speaking it the whole time. Down is up, down is up,
down is up, down is up.
Of course, fly high, obviously too.
I can't fly upside down with my hand like this. My hand's sideways, just like this.
That's what my son does too. Exactly.
And I was watching the big guys, you know, and there's a couple of them out there that do that.
Yeah, it's whatever's comfortable to you.
I was like, well, maybe I should learn how to hold my hand like this. And I talked to 3 people, and they said, no, you know, if you're comfortable with that and you're doing fine, you're okay. But I don't know. Get some more flights as I progress. We'll see.
You know what I did when I was setting up my handle to fly upside down is when you're flying straight and level in, you know, with the airplane upright, you set it up to where your handle is just a little bit up. When you trim your lines, you're just a little bit up, because then when you go inverted, your airplane will fly straight with your handle exactly level. If you don't, when you're inverted, you have to have a little bit of down in there. And for me, it's easier to have my wrist straight up and down when I'm inverted to get more leverage, to give it that down motion, you know, to either do your loops or to do a square. That way you get more leverage. You always get plenty of leverage here because you got your elbow to help you. But here, it's harder to do. So I set it up so I'm a little trimmed high, you know, right side up, and then level, it'll go level, because your airplane, you have to have a little bit of down to get it to fly level upside down. That's just the way your airplanes are. And then that way, upside down, inverted, my handle's exactly 90 degrees, straight up and down. That's why I do it. It really works good for me. That's why I learned how to do it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Wally.
But Tom, it don't matter to hold your wrist this way either. Like I say, it's a matter of what is comfortable to you when you're flying. I got my youngest son, he flies with his hand all over the damn place. It's way out here in left field, and it's like, I don't know how the hell you fly that way, but he does, and it doesn't bother him one bit. You know, he's so strong, it doesn't matter where his hand's at.
Right.
But I couldn't fly that way. I'm a guy that I like my hand pretty much in front of me. You know, it's pretty much there, and it stays up and down, and that's why I like that trim the way I do when I'm inverted. So I got that little extra leverage right there to help me out when I'm inverted.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a matter of how you like it.
And there's another thing too, is right now my control handles are cable, and I haven't tried a hard point yet. So I'm thinking about a hard point. What's your guys' thoughts about hard point?
That'll help you on a bigger airplane.
Yeah,
on a bigger airplane, it'll help you with a bigger like a 4-inch crankshaft or a bell crank. That'll give you a little more leverage for that great big bell crank. But you know, that's something you just have to try too. You just try it as you go.
Yeah.
It's such a direct connection to the bell crank that it can exacerbate any mistakes that you naturally make too.
All you do is just bring in your spacing closer. That's all you do. If you have a hard point handle, hopefully you can adjust the line spacing and just bring it in, because it is a direct connection. It's more instantaneous.
Yeah.
And I always migrate eventually to that. But when I first set up a plane, I use a wire handle that I can adjust my my neutral easier.
That's what
my hard point handles, I got to use all these different clips.
Yeah.
And it's just troublesome to find neutral with a hard point handle at first. And so I always start off with a wire handle, and then I will move to the hard point, because it is, to me, it's superior. I mean, the ultimate is to have, you know, solid lines and a hard point handle. I mean, that's the ultimate setup. But it requires a lot of maintenance to use solid lines.
But you know, another thing is a handle that feels really comfortable in your hand. You get a handle that fits your hand that feels really comfortable. It makes a big difference too.
I like handles, Tom Morris handles.
There you go.
I've experienced 6 different handles, and I finally got 2 of them that are really feel comfortable.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what I use.
What's amazing, all the handles that I've tried through the years that I've flown, I still went back to my handles that I learned how to fly with. I don't know why it is. It's just like I go back to my roots all the time.
Wow. I've been carrying a hard point handle and planning on using it. But I think once I get back in practice and get a few weeks of flying regularly, I'm going to go ahead and change over to it and see how I like it. But I like the cable handle. It gives me a little bit of mush to keep my mistakes and wiggles from showing. But I also use line clips to make minor adjustments to it too.
And like I have a jig that I set up on the first I got this little on my elevator. I have 2 pieces of lath, you know, that are about 6 inches long.
Oh, to clamp it neutral.
I put one on top of the elevator and stab, and one on the bottom, and then I take these plastic clamps and hold them in place.
Yeah,
and I hold everything in neutral.
That's what I do too.
I have a jig that goes on the end of my wingtip, and that's how I do my eyelets. And then I made myself up 2 sets of lines, 60, 62s, and I was amazed that I accomplished it, but I've got them exact. So you know, if you look at my control handle now, my cables are about
Right.
the same length. So I think I got it to a point to where I could put it on a hard point, and hopefully I don't have to worry about any spacing.
Very
There
good.
are hard point handles that have an adjustment too, where you can actually turn a screw and move one of the brackets in or out.
Right. But you want to
That's what
actually
I got on my
all the
Nobler.
way back, Rusty, because the advantage of the hard point handle is to have the shortest legs possible.
Yeah,
So even though they are adjustable, you move them all the way back and you adjust it with clips.
yeah.
I have an expert, and my one plane, I haven't moved them back yet, and he doesn't always, but he's told me, Charles, you need to move those legs all the way back on your hard point handle, or you're losing the advantage of the hard point handle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just learned that just this past week about you know, your lines connecting to your handle. You want it what as close as you can to the
As
handle.
close as you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
otherwise
It's like power steering.
you've
Like
got
power
that,
steering.
strange
yeah,
leverage if
yeah,
you've
that
got them
gives you
extended.
the ultimate leverage right there. Yep, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
And
look around.
I have that tool from Jim Lee to make my own clips, and I highly recommend getting that tool. That is an awesome tool.
Yeah, Wayne's got one. He made me a bunch of clips too, so I
Yeah,
use
you
them. I
can
use
make
them with my cable handle too,
you can
and
make
also on the lead outs of the plane. If the two eyelets aren't exactly together when everything's neutral, then I'll stagger it with line clips until it is.
Right. When
but
I go
you,
out to the field, I actually have lines that I make myself, so I can actually, once I get my plane in neutral, I can swap from like 60-foot lines, 61, 62, 63, without doing a new handle adjustment. All my lines are exact.
That close. Yeah, that's why I order them
That's
from
on.
Tom
They're all
Morris.
the
It
same.
saves me from having to do it myself. But his are always exact.
Right. Oh, by the way, I want to clarify that when I do fly inverted, my handle is straight up. But as far as teaching somebody, I'd encourage them to lay it on their side for a physical reminder, but I would encourage them to eventually put it straight up.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's just my personal preference.
I'm forever flying straight out like that, or maybe like this.
I'd turn mine weird. You know, my is up. That I'll be working on that.
Yeah. When I fly inverted, I hold it exactly the same as I do when I'm upright.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do too. But there's nothing right or wrong. You just do it whatever feels comfortable.
Yeah, that's
I've seen even Ted
whatever's
Fancher,
working.
highly celebrated pilot. I've seen him fly inverted with his hand lay on the side. And that's Ted Fancher. I mean,
Yep, yep. Boy, there's a lot of styles out there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, everybody's built different. Everybody's joints have different limits of range of motion too. So you just have to dance with what you brung to the party.
Yep.
Hey,
I
Chris,
like those expressions.
are you still down there, Chris, or are you back home yet?
No, I'm at home.
You're at home?
Yeah.
When'd you leave?
Thursday. About
Oh,
right after the big rainstorm.
oh, we
The
left.
downpour?
We left right before the rainstorm got there. We met it on the interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I was packing up the camper and it started pouring. I said, screw this. Went inside, ate some lunch. Went and talked to Bob and Ruth next to us a little bit, and then we took off. I had to have my
Oh,
girlfriend back at the. I had to take her to U of M to have a biopsy today, so
Oh, really?
for a kid. Yeah, for a kidney. She's got a donor kidney, and they gotta check it every once in a while. Make sure it's not rejecting.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Hope she does. Hope she's doing well.
How long has she had it?
Yeah, she doing fine. This one here, 3 months. The first one she had for 7 years.
I've only had one transplant, but it never did work. They spent
No.
3 months in the hospital trying to make it work. Tore me
Oh.
down pretty good, so that's the only one I ever did. That was in 1987 too, so they're a lot better at it now than they were then.
Oh yeah. Yep. Everything's good.
Well, I hope everything's okay then.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell
She
you
had a-
what, that woman can make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
Yeah, we was there Saturday flying, and I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And she goes, well, we got some lunch meat and stuff. And I said, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Woman, go make me a sandwich. And she come in, and she had a bag of the best roast beef I've ever had sliced off in a deli.
Oh yeah, that's some good shit.
And then it had some, what was that pepper stuff?
Oh, the Capicolo?
Epicolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, man, I tell you what, this wasn't no Oscar Mayer stuff. I mean, they came in, they had
No.
the goods with the sandwich.
I don't let her buy that cheap shit. It's got to be good.
Yeah, it was.
Capicola, what is that?
It's like a hot ham.
Interesting.
It's really
Yes,
good.
it
You gotta
was.
try it. You gotta try it.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. And I looked on the packages, and it was from Kroger.
Yeah, I get it from Kroger.
Where'd you get it? Did you bring it with you, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have a Kroger's here, and it closed down.
Well, you can get that stuff anywhere. Every
Well,
grocery
I
store
know
carries that
here
stuff.
I haven't seen it, but I'm when I go back to this, I'll be going to the store next Friday. I'll look for it.
Yeah, those Italians know how to make cold cuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got to have good cold cuts when you're out flying all day, dude, and it's lunchtime, you know?
They're called cold guts.
Oh,
Cold guts.
that's the
More
English
like, more
version.
like full gut.
Yeah.
That's the English version. Cold guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Fun
I was
time.
surprised she had a good time.
Saturday was fun, man. I had a lot of fun on Saturday.
I got
We'll
parts
have
of
a
hell.
lot of fun on Saturday. Holy cow! 7 in the morning till 8 at night.
When I go to contests, by the end of the first day, I've lost my voice from talking so much.
Woo! No,
Yeah.
you talk too much. No.
Yeah, I bet. And I learn so much when I go to contests too, even if someone's not telling you something, you can just watch people and you can pick up stuff,
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was watching this guy, he was fueling his plane, and I have those 5-ounce syringes, and I'm always squeezing it and pushing it. And I turn around, I watch this guy, he puts the syringe upside down on the asphalt and just leans down and pushes it the opposite of how I've been doing, And so I adopted that. I go, man, that is such a terrific idea.
Huh.
I would have never thought to. I always was pushing it in, but if you just put it upside down on the ground and use your body and push it down.
Yeah, let gravity do the work for you.
Yeah. I was like, I would have never seen that flying with my buddies. And so I do that to this day, and it saves my strength.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's just things you pick up. And I like watching, look at flight boxes. I'm always curious to see how they organize their hardware and how they do things, I pick up ideas walking around in contests. Not to mention just talking to people too,
My flight box looks like a hoarder's house.
Oh, man. Mine the first couple of weeks is really nice, and then after that, it's just a piled up mess.
Yeah, mine's a hoarder house, man. You never know. You dig down in there, you don't know what you'll get.
Man, I'd say I do have my drawer in my flat box is a little bit disorganized, but everything else exteriorly is everything has its own place.
Yeah,
But
I gotta have my
I
stuff in the
hate
right
like
pot too.
passion. I cannot stand to lose something, and
Oh,
everything having its own place minimizes me losing things. I cannot stand when I lose something.
I carry a flight box and a toolbox, and the flight box has got all of my liquids and cleaning stuff and all of the things that I'm going to need, my chicken stick, my starter batteries, and all that kind of stuff. And then I got a toolbox separate in case I need to work on the plane or do something like that.
There you go.
Speaking of that, I gotta get something to show you.
All right.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Rusty, if I want to show a picture, how do I focus on a picture?
Yeah, my flight box. I have another flight box that I've had since I was a kid, and I took that and combined it to mount on my flight box underneath my flight box that I use, and that's a lot of extra things that I take to the Nats with me or to an event. And it's really, I kind of call that box my oh shit box, because if I have to get in that
There's
box,
some flight boxes I can't even pick up, and we got
yeah, right.
Howard Shenton, and he's like a gorilla anyway, but I can't even pick his box up and walk with it.
Yeah, my box is kind of heavy.
I got an old plastic box with a drawer in the bottom, and I don't know what it was originally intended to be, but it's a perfect flight box.
That's cool.
It holds little enough so I can't overstuff it, and everything's right there that I really need.
But you can tell an electric flyer, because all he has in his hand is his plane, and he got this little tiny carrying case. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He goes, I got everything in there. My fuel's in there. My glow starter's in there. And all he does is open it up, and it's a cute little box, and he just picks out a battery and plugs it in, and off he goes.
It's too
Yeah,
easy.
maybe one day. But right now, I'm doing caster and synthetic.
Let's see. What do we got here? We got
Oxygen orange.
oxygen orange, huh? That's your
That stuff
tube
there
cleaner.
you get at the dollar store. A bottle of this is $1, and that, I'll tell you what, is the best damn cleaner for cleaning these oils you will ever find.
Yeah.
Really? I'm gonna make a note of that. Oxygen orange, huh?
Oxygen orange. Watch for that orange bottle. You can even get refills. That bottle right there, sprayer, everything is $1. Oxygen orange. And I'll tell you what, I got some neighbors over here that have one of these food trucks,
Oh, but dang.
and they were checking out degreasers in their truck to see what would work. This guy says, you wouldn't believe how many of these degreasers, professionals, all this stuff, all these different cleaners. And he said, we just happened to buy a bottle of this down there at the dollar store. And he said, that stuff cut better than anything we've ever had. And I'll tell you what, I've used it on my planes, and he is right.
Look at the ingredients. Does it have sodium hydroxide in it?
It says, keep out of the reach of children, avoid eye contact. Awesome oxygen orange is perfect degrease and spot remover for kitchen appliances, tubs, showers, stalls, sinks and toilets, walls, bunch of other stuff, and manufactured and distributed by Fabric something. Looks like it's it says awesome products incorporated, and it doesn't say nothing about an ingredient.
Doesn't have an ingredients, huh?
Let's see, caution, another caution, and then it's
It sounds like it's user friendly.
Yeah, back to the Spanish stuff, but it doesn't tell us what's in it. Yeah, there's nothing in here that says anything about what's in it. I'll tell you what, if you can find a bottle of that, pick it up for $1.
I'll look at it.
Worth $1.
I'm always good for trying a new cleaner. I always fall back on alcohol and Windex.
I use Simple Green.
This,
Yeah,
this would
a lot of people use that.
beat it every time. Believe it or not, the stuff that I used for a long time was a little bit of vinegar with some Dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn's a real good grease cutter.
Yeah, Dawn
this
is pretty good.
This stuff works it over. Dawn doesn't touch this stuff. Nothing compared
Wow.
to what this does.
Hey, Wally, what's
Yes.
above orange? I see something above the word orange. What's above that?
Oh,
Oxygen.
it says LA's totally awesome oxygen orange.
Okay.
Orange. All-purpose degreaser and spot remover.
Okay.
Yeah, 32 ounces, sprayer, everything was $1. If you can find it for $1, give it a shot.
I
Yeah,
go to
well-
the dollar store every week, so I'll look out for it. I'm always good for trying a new cleaner.
Where do you live at, Wally?
I live in Pocatello, Idaho.
Idaho. Oh yeah, you're the potato man.
Yeah, I'm the potato man. I land on I land my plane. It's bouncing all over because it's going over the top of all them potatoes.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that conversation. Man. Yep. Little bumpy. You're flying
A little bumpy.
little bumpy.
That's how you know. That's where you always know a prostitute when you see one too. It says
Oh
he's
yeah.
got Idaho written on it.
Oh, Idaho. Yeah, that's like the guy that was in the bus and over there in Chicago, and he says, I'm such and such, and I'm from Chicago, and the black gal says, he says, well, no, it wasn't a black gal, it was an Indian gal. She says, well, I'm a New York hoe, and this is my sister right here, and she's a Chicago hoe.
And the girls out there in Idaho are Idahos, huh?
Yeah, and they were supposed to be a Navajo and something like that. You know, it was an Indian joke because we live right by a reservation up here, and it's funny. And I got cousins that are Indians, so we have to give it to them all the time.
Well, we can talk about airplanes.
It's all
and
good.
hose.
It's all good.
Oh yeah, airplanes and hose are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boats
Yeah,
and
maybe I'll have to somehow think of a paint scheme for my plane to do with an Idaho.
Yeah, that's something I don't try to dream up too. I guess I've never thought of that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We got some of the ruggedest mountains in the country back here. I mean, well, they figure that they call them the sawtooths. There's a reason because they're jagged, rocky, and oh man,
Wow.
there's some beautiful looking country over there in the middle part of the state.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really different living here because we got mountains. In fact, in my backyard, there's a mountain in my backyard. You go right up the mountain.
Wow.
We got desert to the north and all around me. Other than in the north right here, the east, south, and west is you go in the mountains. And it's neat because, well, I used to say in 30 minutes I can have my boat in the water to go fishing. I can go hunting right up the hill out of my backyard. There's so many things you can do within 20, 30 minutes of your house.
Wow.
There's not very many states that you can do that, and there's a lot of lakes. I mean, if you're an outside person, this is a great state to be in. The only problem is elevation. Where I live, the elevation's 4,400 feet.
Wow, that's high.
And it's high, but there's a lot of people I know live 8,000 feet.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, if you had a flying circle on a mountain, all you could do was wing overs.
I seen a buddy of mine. He runs these RC cars, and I was watching this one dude. They're putting superchargers on their engines. These are little 19 car engines, and they're putting superchargers on now. I see. I don't want to what it's out like to put one of them on my 60. Build one for a 60. Get your atmospheric pressure down like it is, at sea level and really get the performance. But the problem is the air density isn't what like you guys have, especially Charles, where you're so low.
Right.
Your air is so thicker so thick compared to what it is here.
Right.
Your airplane performs really well. Say for instance, your loop, you do a 10-foot loop.
Right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty tight loop, 10 foot.
Right.
Well, me to do a 10-foot loop here, it's going to be probably 15 feet. Because the air is so thin that it's harder to work your airplane through that thinner air.
Yeah, you don't have as much lift.
Yeah, so when I watch you guys fly at your lower altitudes, I always dream about, man, I want to go fly some of this altitude, at least down to 2,000 feet, because it makes a lot of difference on how your airplane flies.
Yeah.
And your engine run too.
Yeah,
definitely. Performance.
And Charles, down there where you're at, well, what's your elevation there where you are?
I have no idea.
I'll bet it's below 1,000 feet.
My elevation is 762 feet.
I'm 450 here.
What's yours?
About 960.
No, you guys are spoiled.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah, if you was to come up here, you'd go, "What the heck is wrong with my airplane?"
Yeah,
You would. It just doesn't fly right.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what I could do down there at sea level or where you're at. It's the air density makes so much difference.
Yeah. Well, Gordon Delaney, when he designed the Pathfinder, he was dealing with that. He was where he's from. He lived in high elevation, so he designed the airfoil and the plane to fly well in that high elevation. You might want to try the Pathfinder for that very reason.
Like Tom, the other day, you was talking about your airplane where you went around and the air was dead and you came around and your airplane started going blah, 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 blah. Well, that's dead air. And here it's you get dead air like that too, but it's more wishy-washy through the whole, like yours was at the bottom coming out of that, right? Well, this here, you'd like up on top coming around the whole backside, you'd have that. It's like you better back up or move to the side so you can get out of that same wash. It's really different, but you learn how to manage that, and it's just like me. If I was to go down there and fly with Charles, which would be fun, like that would really be a whole new world for me, because my airplane I know would really perform good. And you might even have to set it up and retrim it because it's going to be different.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're right. You have to retrim it.
And the other day when you guys was talking about trims, handles make a part of that. And the big thing is CGs. Get your CG perfect for your airplane. You get it to where it's right on the edge of the teeter-totter. You get it right on the edge, and that's where it turns really good.
Yep.
See, and I've got an airplane I'm building downstairs, which is a SIG Super Chipmunk. I built a couple of those, and I've got 2 more kits besides this one. But I have a heavy engine in it, so the one that I've got that I built that I fly has a heavy engine in it, just like this 60 that's right here. It's a heavy engine, but there's ways to compensate for that other than it's heavy. But what you do is like what I did on mine. Is I moved the engine back a half an inch.
Right.
Okay, so that half an inch made a lot of difference in the balance of the airplane. And then what you do is you finish up the nose to compensate for that half inch that you brought your engine back. Now it's like Rusty. He's putting weight on the spinner of his engine and his nobler because he needs the nose weight. Well, here you don't need the nose weight, you need to weight in the tail. So we'll get the weight out of the tail, bring your engine back. But you have to know this while you're building your airplane, to know where you set up your engine. And if you know that, like this Chipmunk that I'm building downstairs right now, the engine's half an inch back from stock. The outside wing, the outboard wing has the same amount of ribs as the inside, because these old kits, they used to add a rib on the inside for the drag of the cables. Well, this one here, I designed the wing so it's the same. It's got 12 ribs on both sides.
Right.
Okay, so then it's got that. Then I've got an adjustable lead out for my lead outs,
Right.
which is something the kit didn't have. Then I've got a weight box that I got in to change my weights to fine tune it out there. And then I'll get my CG perfect. And I know pretty much where that is because I've built 2 Super Chipmunks in the past. So it's a matter of knowing that airplane and how to build it. And this airplane that I'm building now should be probably the best flying airplane that I've got so far, even compared to my big 60 size airplanes, which I got like 5 of them. But that 46 that's in that airplane, which is, I can't even think of the name of the engine. It's brand new, but it's a different name. And it's one of those China-made engines.
Oh, ask.
It's
Ask.
Avistar. It's just something like that.
Okay.
It's kind of like the same molding from China, but something about that. You know how well the OS engines run.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Tom likes them. He likes the way they run. They run really well. They start well. Well,
It's not an
that
Evo, is it?
airplane is designed off the 46. And so anyway, that's the engine that I chose to go in that airplane. And I'm going to really be disappointed if that isn't one or the best flying airplane I have when I get it finished.
I heard that.
I had a couple fellows, some older fellows that been in modeling for many, many years, and they told me to stay away from the Avstar.
Well, you know, what you do, most of them, in fact, all of them that I know of, come with radio control carburetors. Take that, throw it away. Get yourself a Venturi like you have on your LA there, and then get the 60 size like me. I can get a 46 size needle valve assembly or get a 60 size needle valve assembly. I prefer the 60 size, and that's what I buy. I got a guy, in fact, I got his card right here if I can find it. Here it is right here. This is the guy I buy parts from. Shutterman at AOL.com. India, US engine parts, blah, blah, blah. He has a lot of parts. His name's Bob Brooks.
He's an excellent vendor.
This guy, I buy lots of stuff from him. And I like to put my own Venturis on my engines, and I like to put those, I like the India needle valve assemblies. The Super Tigers are really good too, but the problem you get with those is it's a steel stub like what you have in yours, Tom. And I like even though my engines are mounted upside down and the needle valves coming out the side, I still like that spring. Yeah. So, you know, that's all a matter of preference on what you like too. I've run them all. I've put them all in. For me, my choice, like on your engine you just got, would be to shorten that intake, that Venturi, you know, about half of what it is. It's long and it'll work for you. That's set up a lot like the. There's another engine out there that they run really long Venturis. They really like them, but myself, I prefer a little shorter one. But what you do is you run that engine. If it runs good for you, leave it alone and run it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's set up, run it. And
Yeah,
once you find the exhaust pipe that works for it, you know, like your 762 or your tongue muffler, whatever you're going to get the performance out of that engine that you really like, you got your hot ticket, man. You've got the engine. Now you find the hot ticket for your exhaust. You're set up. You've got the airplane. Now you're ready to rock and roll, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping.
You'll get there.
Yeah. If this motor runs well, I'll be sticking it in a build.
You know, there's something else I tell people. This is for my boys mainly. You know, they'll get out there and they'll fly. And, oh, that engine's not running right and everything. You know, I says, well, you know what you do? You set it up on the bench. You know, when you go hunting, when you set up a rifle with a scope, do you shoot it and sight it in? Well, yeah. Do you get a shotgun and shoot it and make sure that it's shooting on zero where it belongs? Yeah. Well, did you put your engine on the test bench and run it to make sure the engine's running? 99.9% of the time, your engine's going to run like a dream. All these engines. So if it's running like a dream, you put it in an airplane and you run it and it don't run right, what's the matter with it? It's a fuel system. It'll be the same thing. Fuel system, 99.9% of the time, it's not the engine. The engine works. You've already proved it. It run on the test stand. It'll run in the airplane. So now you've got a problem you got to deal with. It's in your fuel system.
Yeah, and fuel, and the fuel itself sometimes.
Yeah, it's either your fuel's old, or you got a hole in your gas line, or like Charles did earlier, had a hole in his gas tank. You know, something's causing your problems. You've got a kink gas tube someplace that you're not getting the flow through it, or your pressure or whatever. But the majority of the time, don't go to the engine. The engine's not the problem. Your problem, you know, if you can push that prop over and you're getting it to bump, that tells you right there that you have your spark, you know, your glow plug's hot. Okay. So from there, what you're going to is you got to go to your gas. You start looking for gas problems. Once you get your gas problem fixed, then your engine runs.
Yeah, that's the second flight of the Bastard, you know, from the first of the maiden. Yeah, I had a hole just spring up from nowhere coming out from a solder joint.
Oh yeah, I remember that because you run it on your table outside. Yeah. When you had it outside, when you was doing it outside.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Why is my engine misbehaving? And I knew there was nothing wrong with the engine because I test flighted it on another plane a week before. Yeah, it's just weird how stuff happens.
Yep,
it is.
Yeah,
and, you know, fuel is a part of trim too. You know, I was talking to a guy. He was there at the Nats, and he was telling me he was running 25% nitro on a Rojet 67 because of all the humidity. You know, and then another contest I go to, this one guy, throughout the contest, he's playing with his nitro mix. You know, he'll just spike as the day goes long. He adds a little more nitro to get the same engine run he had earlier in the cool of the morning.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's all trim, you know.
Yeah, yep.
I went from a 10% to 15%.
See, and it's like me, where I live in this high altitude. I'll run 15%, and then some of my engines, it tells me I can run as high as 30%. And 30% for me is high because it's expensive. But 15% at a high altitude, because what does your nitromethane do? It
brings oxygen.
It takes up the oxygen. So if I can get more fuel into the engine, that means more power.
Yeah.
So that's what I need at high altitude. So I run more nitromethane.
I see.
So 15% is what I prefer. I used to run 10, but now I run 15. And
you increase the fuel flow
I could run 30 in a lot of them. Yeah.
You know much about road jets, Wally?
No, I don't. I don't have a road jet to my
Anybody?
name, and I wish I did.
I don't know anything about road jets either. I don't.
But to me, if I was going to buy a big engine again, I think it'd be the PA, because all the PAs that I see in the videos, I just love that sound they put out. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I love it too, man. But wow, you know, $400, $500 is just way out of my wheelhouse.
You know,
that's a lot of money.
That's why I haven't done it. Because by the time you get your engine and you get your pipe, and then you get your tune pipe, that's a $600-700 engine easy, like you're saying.
Yep.
And that's if everything works the way you want it the first setup. Now, if you want to go, well, this pipe I want to put, 2 inches shorter, or I want to go to, the little or 5-inch exhaust pipe, which is a whole different story, how they make them, then, now you're talking another $200 just for that, So pretty soon you got $1,000 set up in one engine.
Yeah, right.
For me, I don't have the $1,000 to do that.
Yeah, neither do
So
I.
I do what I can do,
Yep. Yep.
And
What do you
for
guys?
me, good engines and cheap, for me, have been Fox engines. And now I'm watching eBay to try to get the little 15s.
Right.
Good flipping luck getting a 15. You can get RCs, the 15 and 19s, but good luck getting a control line, with the control line Venturi. Because I've been trying to do it for months. People know that Fox is going out of business, and you're paying $50 to $60 easy for a used 15 engine. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
It's like that sucks.
more.
I got a couple of models I want them in.
I
One of
know,
them's a
you got to
P38.
put RC groups, man, and there's a lot of engine swapping going on there.
Yeah.
I got a 15
have you
right
been
now.
in
I got
your
a Fox
speed group?
15.
Is it brand new?
No, it's not. Well, actually, it is brand new.
You
It's
want to
not-
part with it? I really need one.
Well-
I really need one with a muffler.
This
I
one here's
really
got
need
this.
one with a muffler.
This
Huh?
one here's got a screw for the exhaust muffler. I don't have the muffler on it, but it's for throttle control. It's got a little.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
You
talking
know,
about.
Oh, that little plate that.
Yeah,
sits
little
Yeah.
plate
You
that's
can put a plate. You can put a plate on if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called a baffle plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you want
Only
to
thing
part
I-
with it, let me know. Because
Actually, I'm looking for
they're
a
really
needle
getting
valve
hard
for
to
it.
come by. Huh?
Yeah. The only thing I don't have is the needle valve for it.
That needle valve's nothing for me. I got gobs of needle valves.
Yeah.
I got a whole box of Fox needle valves.
I was
I
going
need
to put that
engines.
on my Junior Nobler.
Yeah, I helped a fellow beginner out, and we were practicing, and he starts his airplane upside down, and he's got a Fox on there, and he's got a tongue muffler, and I'm sitting there holding it, and it starts up, and it's like rah, and we flip it over and everything, and he goes out the handle, and I'm holding the plane and takes off. And I tell you what, my hand, I had oil from my knuckles all the way up to my elbow. It was just like, you ever seen that movie Turner and Hooch?
Yeah.
It just was all over.
I was told to run 29% caster on those motors.
Yeah, there's some
I only
slimy
run
stuff.
20.
I run
Yeah.
22 in mine.
Do you?
22.
Yeah.
I run 25 in them OSs, and it's the same way. It's a great big old gooey gob coming out.
It is too. Yeah, castor oil makes a mess. That's why I like this oxygen orange here, because it works good on that stuff. After it sits for a while, it starts getting sticky.
Yeah.
Well, this eats that sticky stuff. Yeah.
Now, what does it do to monocoat or ultracoat? Does it ruin the seams?
Nope.
Will it separate the covering?
Nope.
All right.
I've got some monocoated airplanes in here. Doesn't bother them a bit.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. I'll stick with it. Put it that way.
Very cool.
What's your guys' philosophy on? What's your guys' philosophy on control line success?
It's gonna go away. You know why? How many kids did you see over there at the Nationals? How many people did you see below the age of 40?
Yeah,
Right.
there was
Right.
only there was 2 juniors in the class. That 2 kids,
Yeah.
and this was their second time there, because they come last year for the first time, and they was there, and that's it.
So you figure how many people were there in total? You figure roughly.
Well, I was
About 500.
500. So you figure 500, and if you had maybe 25 people there that were below 40, and you had 2 there that were below 20, it doesn't look very good for the control line world people like us. I see my son, it's hard for him to go because he is so busy in his business. He owns his own business, and he builds race dirt bikes that go all over, and he flies all over the country. He works on a supercross team. So, you know, his specialty is taking a brand new motorcycle out of the box and rebuilding it and making it twice as good as what it was factory or better. And so that's why I have to make ARFs for him, because he don't have time to build them. I have to build them for him. I'm building a T-Rex for him in my basement right now.
No, very good.
So I build them for him, and then I'm a builder. I love to build. I build my own. I don't care to do an ARF for me, other than the fact that my kids went together last year and bought me a smoothie that's an ARF from Brodak, because I fly my youngest son's smoothie, and I love the way that thing comes out of a wing over. It's perfect. I mean, it's just something, the way that airplane comes out of a wing over, that I just love the way that thing comes out. So I've been bragging on that airplane for so long that my kids went together and bought me a smoothie for Christmas. Well, I haven't even put it in the air yet. It's ready to go. I just haven't flown because I've had 20 operations. I've had 8 spine operations. I've got steel in my back, and I've got a great big steel plate in my neck. So for me to do a overhead 8, it's about impossible. So I deal with what my limitations are, but I can do the majority of the pattern and still love to do it.
Man, you'd be screwed up if someone turns on an electromagnet on you.
Well, actually, believe it or not, the metal is so deep in me that it doesn't pick it up.
Is it really steel, or is it titanium or something like that?
It's actually titanium. It's all titanium.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I got rods on my back that are probably 8 inches long with great big screws and stuff. And I got one in my neck, a plate that goes from here clear down to here. And it was so long and so big that it was rubbing on my esophagus. So it was, for the first 2 months, it was hard to swallow. And now I've got used to it, and it don't bother me. I don't even feel it anymore.
Yeah.
But the problem
What
is
did you
now
do?
I'm
Fall down
looking
one
at
of your
another.
mountains?
Now I'm looking at another back operation. They got to take all that steel back out and do it over, plus fuse the next disc up. And I'm looking at both my knees being replaced. So I'm getting to where I'm almost a bionic man. But the thing is I still build and I still fly, and I'm going to do it if I have to go out there and go in circles in a wheelchair, you know, because I love to do it. The problem is I don't get to fly near as much as I used to. That's a problem. And the thing is I have nobody to fly with. If my boys are gone or they're busy, which they are most of the time, I'm by myself. Who am I going to go flying with? That's my problem. So, Charles, I'd love to come to California and fly with you. You know?
Yeah, come on out here.
I wish
I fly by myself most of the time.
It sucks. I don't like to do that, but you know, I'm set up. I'll have to show you guys the stooge that I built. I designed my own stooge and build it. It's really cool. I'll have to bring that in the house and show you. It's out in my shop.
And that's how I fly.
I can fly by myself, but I don't like to, because it's the safety factor having some stupid kid run in there and having something bad happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah, very fortunate.
Yeah,
I'd
you gotta have a spotter.
Great, Chris.
I didn't hear you.
I see you gotta have a spotter.
Yeah, you need a spotter. You really do. That's your safety man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd fly with you, dude. All you need to do is send me a plane ticket and I'll be out.
Oh man, you don't know how much I'd love to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then you'd also have to supply me a plane and everything.
Oh, don't worry about that. I got gobs of planes. This whole house,
I don't have,
this whole house is an airplane. You got to remember, I'm single. Well, I'm divorced, but it's been over 20 years. So my house could almost fly away because it's all airplanes. Everything is airplanes. Every single room is plastic kits, wood kits, flying kits to airplanes that are built ready to go, and they're all over. They really are.
Wow.
That's the definition of a modeler.
That absolutely. One
Yep.
second.
You got to be careful sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day, talking about sitting on the couch. The other day, I was working on that T-Rex in my basement, and I felt something on my foot, you know. And anyway, I come upstairs and I take my shoe off, and inside my shoe is all blood. So I take my sock off. Well, actually, I got my foot out of the shoe, and I look in there, and there's an X-Acto number 11 blade sticking up through the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah.
I look at the bottom of the shoe, and it's like it's not there. That's how deep it went into the shoe. So then I got in the shoe, and I pulled it out with a pair of pliers, and I seen that it went into my foot probably 5/8 of an inch, and I didn't feel it. That's how numb my feet are because of all the scarring in my back.
Huh.
This is no lie. I'll show you the blade. I got it.
I tell you what, why don't you try to stick a 332 rod through your thumb? You know that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I had a picture I was going to show you that night when you were talking about it, and I found it.
This right here is the X-Acto blade, and the bloodline is right there. That's how much went into my foot.
Wow. Oh,
Where I can't see how much went in there.
And this was over 2 weeks ago, and it was closed up doing fine. Now my foot is swelling up, and it's starting to bleed again. So Monday I call the doctor, and I'm going in to get tetanus shot Monday and to see what they're going to do about my foot that this blade went into that I didn't feel.
You gotta cut that foot off.
wow.
They won't step
Yeah, that's
on
what
it
I'm
anymore.
afraid of. I know a guy that they had to do that. They cut his foot off.
Yeah.
Actually, they ended up cutting it off 3 times. Now he's only got it from just below the knee down.
That's
How y'all like my thumb?
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, wow. Ugh.
That's from a Master Air Screw 6.3 on an MP jet.
Oh,
Slice and dice, buddy. Slice and
that's
dice.
nasty.
Is that your thumb, Rusty?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
that hurt.
Oh, I'll bet.
I bet that did hurt.
I'll heal up too. It's
I bet
Well,
it did.
A buddy of mine, his wife says, well, how come Wally didn't feel that blade going into his foot? He said, well, his feet are numb. And that there proves how numb they are when you get that much blade going into your foot. This was up through the bottom of my shoe,
Oh, that's amazing.
into
Juan.
my foot. I
so
said,
sorry
what's
to hear that.
amazing to me is how I didn't get a vein or you didn't get a bone, something like that, that just blows my mind still.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so
But
glad.
anyway, yeah, Monday I get to call the doctor and see if I can get in there and have him look at it because it's last 2 mornings I've had, about 3/4 inch round spots of dried up blood on my socks that it's still bleeding a little bit. So that's not a good sign. I can't be losing the foot.
No.
No, you can't. I hope not.
I'd be leaving the shoe and the sock off of that foot as much as I possibly could.
Problem
Yeah.
is I'm always on the go, man. Like today, I was at the airport. Well, I wasn't at the airport. I was at the end of the airport, my daughter's place, watching the Blue Angels fly over us all afternoon. They were practicing for tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll be up there watching them again.
All right. Well, you got to be
So-
careful, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
Careful.
do you know how to use Epsom salt, don't you? To soak.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good, because that is one of the best things you can do for an injury like that. It'll draw it'll draw the bad stuff out of it. And
I'll have to do that because I even got Epsom salts here. I'll do that tonight before I go to
there's
bed.
been lots of
You gotta do that,
there's
Wally.
been lots of feet, hands, and limbs saved by soaking in Epsom salt.
Yeah, keeping it clean's the hardest part because you walk
Yeah.
on the damn thing.
Yeah, you ought to see the bottom
Yeah.
of my shoe. It's all blood soaked now. It's all dried up and stuff. But now I'm gonna have to buy new shoes because it's a bloodbath in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wally, man. So
And that's
Fucking
right.
gruesome.
I'd be taking the pad insert out of that if you can and get some new pad inserts put in your shoes.
Something.
Get some
Oh,
new-
that's a good idea. I'll have to look into that. Yeah.
Get some gauze, some salve, wrap it.
I'm
Yep.
Yeah,
getting numb in my feet, but I'm not that far along yet.
Well, you probably can't see it, but the whole inside of my shoe is nothing but dried up blood.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you looked
Yeah,
at
you can't-
that compared to my other one, the inside sole, well, it's gray, but it's still a lot lighter than that one. It don't have all that blood soaking stuff in it. You know, it's clean,
Yeah.
but that's the wrong shoe. Yeah, I'm wearing the wrong damn shoes. Oh, shit.
Well, you got two lefts.
Yeah, I'm all mixed up. I can't even wear the same color socks anymore. And I'm really not colorblind either.
Well, that's okay. You'll have that.
You get up in the morning and you're all droggy and stuff. It's like, well, I get one of my socks out of my drawer and get another one on. It's like, how'd I get that polka dotted sock on there? What?
oh man.
And then on
Done that
top,
before.
Yeah, it's not good.
on top of it, you're wearing shorts too, right? So everyone can see.
That's something. You got one pair of shorts for every day of the week, or one pair for each month. And I got one for every day of the week for 2 weeks. So my laundry gets pretty full by the time I do laundry.
Yeah, I do mine once a week.
That's when I do mine too.
Yeah.
Well, I have finally got the cardinal on the table. Got the
Deal.
Got the glass leveled. I opened up the box yesterday and just started taking a look at it, and it's really, really nice laser cut wood.
Nice.
Impressed with the quality of it. First thing I looked at was the 1/2-inch slab that is the fuselage, and I put my straight edge along it, and it is slightly bowed with the concave side being on the inboard. So that would be the opposite direction that I would prefer to have a bow.
Yeah, that's the wrong direction.
I'm considering laminating a couple of 1/4-inch sheets together with epoxy and letting it harden with my weights on top of it. But
That's a good idea.
yeah, but it's otherwise a nice piece of wood. I don't know whether I should try straightening it out, and I can probably
Absolutely.
get it straight while I'm doping it. But
You
what
know
do
what I
y'all
would
think
do?
about that? What would-
Yeah, I would steam it, and set
can
it
steam
aside
it.
and put some weight on it.
This is what I'd do. You paid pretty good money for that kit. I would call Brodek and say, is there any way I could talk you out of a new body for my Cardinal? And there's the possibility they'll send you one.
Oh, I'm
I'm
100.
sure they
I'd
would.
call them and
I'm
ask
sure they
them.
would.
There's
thing
nothing.
about
I
it
mean,
is-
it doesn't hurt you to give them a call.
Yeah. The thing about it is there such a thing as a piece of balsa that doesn't have some bow or twist in it? I mean,
No, but most of your 1/2-inch stuff comes and it's usually pretty good, especially from Brodak.
yeah.
Brodak makes some pretty good kits and they're pretty good wood in them. It'd be worth a call. I'd call them myself. I've called Brodak and had them send me stuff out here. In fact, believe it or not,
Yeah.
my Strega kit I got in the canopy's got a big old bash in it where they packed it so tight that the corner of some of the wood has got it caved in. I'm going to call them and ask them if they'll just send me another one. I'll bet they just send me another one. I
Yeah,
could heat
they
that
will.
just a little bit and probably get it out, but Well, why should I spend my time doing that when I spend $180 for a kit that should be good, ready to go?
Yeah.
You know.
On the other hand, wouldn't you consider a laminated two-piece fuselage to be better than just a single sheet?
Yeah, I
Sure.
think
Yeah. Anytime you laminate, it's going to be stronger, especially if you got crisscrossed grains.
Yeah, that's called bias. Bias.
Yeah, you'd have to buy a big square of it to cut it out so you could crisscross it, I guess.
Well, you don't have to go straight 90s. You can go at a little bit of an angle here and a little bit of an angle there, and that's enough to where it's not, you're not in line with your grains. It's a little bit, and that little bit will make a big difference.
Yeah. Now, I've heard of one suggestion was something that I don't think is going to have any effect, and that would be to laminate a sheet of carbon veil in between the two. But that wouldn't really add any structural integrity, would it? I mean, if you put it on the outside, sure, it'll stiffen it, but on the inside, would it even have any effect?
Yeah.
It will on the inside too. You might consider that, or maybe even something else you could do is put a 16th piece of
Plywood. Just a plywood in there.
yeah, the 16th piece of plywood in there, laminated, sand it all down where it's really rough, both sides, and then laminate that in there with some epoxy. Make sure that it's sitting on something like your glass that's really straight. Next day you come in and that thing's dried, it's strong, and it's not going to bow either. You're done.
Yeah.
Even if you use a 64
that's an option
piece,
too.
it'd work.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I might look into that. Those sheets of ply are expensive, but it might be worth it. I'll think about it. I'm just looking for ideas.
What the very first thing I do is just call Brodak and see what they say.
Rusty, I'm gonna share my screen here and show you something. Can you see that?
Oh, very cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Hang on, let me click on it.
This is both of these right here are quarters thick, and I have a plunge router from my Dremel, and I just went ahead and just routed this out.
Cool.
And then used the geodectic right there. Well, I tell you what, did that lighten that up?
Yeah. Now, Tom, what are you going to use for cover on that?
What, in between the two sheets?
No. For your outer covering, what are you going to use?
Oh, I use silk span.
Okay.
That fuselage there is the fuselage that of my bastard. When I was building it this winter, I did that just to try it and see what it did. But actually, to tell you the truth, I did these lightning techniques, and my tail was actually too light. I ended up having to stick some lead in the back end to get it balanced.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's okay. It's better to have to add tail weight than it is to have to add nose weight.
Yeah. So now, since the stabilizer, it was built up and geodetic ribbing and sheeted, it was real super light. So now I'm just going to take a piece of 3/8 solid, and then I'll get an airfoil in it, and then I'll use the same elevator to go in the stab. That'll give me a little more weight, so maybe I can take a little bit of lead off.
Yeah.
But I should have left, now, hindsight, if I would have just left the fuselage alone and not hollow it out like that, it probably would have come out a lot better, and balance-wise. I would have had a little more tail weight.
Well, one thing you got going now, too, is say down the road a ways, you decide, I really like that airplane. I want to build another one. Now you know what to incorporate into your new airplane that you built. Do you really like off of this one? See, and that's what I did with my chipmunks, is each one gets better,
Yep.
As far as the outside of my fuselage, I'd like to cover it with either veil or 1/2 ounce fiberglass, and I think fiberglass would probably be stiffer for strength. But anybody work with carbon veil much, it doesn't add as much stiffness as fiberglass, does it?
That I
Carbon
really
veil?
don't know.
I don't think so. I think the fiberglass is different.
Yeah, that's what that's what I meant.
It's
say
probably
it.
because of the resin makes it stiffer.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's also, it's also heavier too.
yeah.
It
But a lot-
depends on what you want when you get done, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That's as far as I've looked into the kit so far. I have looked at, the flap wood is really nice, and I'm impressed so far. But yeah, I'll get started on it soon. But I'm going to build the fuselage first, so that was why that was my first question after opening the box, is what I probably should do with that fuselage. And so yeah, maybe I'll call Broder. Now it's just a very, very slight bow, but with the straight edge up against it, you can see it.
You know what I did the other day was I ordered me. The other day we was talking on here about the inserts.
Yes.
So I ordered me a bag of inserts for 1/4 screws, and I'm going to get a piece of 3/4. It's like a masonite. It's like this tabletop wood that's really straight, and I'm going to design me a jig, and I'm going to drill, and I'm going to screw them in like every 2 inches
Built into the tabletop.
and I'm going to build me a jig for building mainly bodies, but you could also use it for doing wings, for setting up a wing jig. But for the bodies, you can get bodies for a full body airplane on there that should be straight as an arrow when you're done.
Mhm.
So that's in the works I'm going to be doing too.
Hey, Rusty, those inserts are called king certs, right?
No, mine were
I'm using the Dubro ones, but yeah, Keen Certs is another
Keen
brand
Certs.
that's very good.
And where do you order those from?
I ordered them from
KeenCerts.com.
well, you can get them from eBay, and you can get them from. I got a package of 100 from Amazon. They're
Hey, Charles,
about.
you got a fastener shop around?
I looked for fasteners,
automotive?
Chris. I went into their website, and they were sold out of both sizes that I wanted. I could have used either one, but they were both sold out, because the ones I got have a little bit of a flange on them. And anyway, I ended up getting them from Amazon because Amazon had them.
Okay.
You've ever heard of Granger?
Granger,
Yeah, we got a Granger right near me.
Yeah, I used to buy a lot of stuff from Granger, McMaster Car, and also MSC. MSC is another big supplier.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
that stuff
Granger
in there.
within 10 minutes of my house.
That'd be handy.
Production tool.
I'm curious about those king certs. Where can you find king certs at again?
Amazon. Look on Amazon.
Or eBay.
Yeah, or eBay. Look under what I did. Well, next time we come on, I'll show you. In fact, next time we get here Monday, hopefully they're here.
All right.
They were. What I put in was threaded inserts on the search. Threaded inserts / 1/4 bolts, and for inside threads. And it came up, and I went into Amazon and went down, and you can go through and decide what you want. They got outside diameters. They got, of course, your thread and pitch, and then they got the length. These that I got are about 680 thousandths long, which is perfect for 3/4 wood. Anyway, everything worked, and they were cheap. For 100 of them, it was only like $12.
Wow, that is extremely inexpensive. So yeah, because I was paying, I think I paid $1.99 for just 4 Dubro brass ones.
Yeah, Dubros are expensive. You get the ones that have the the slot for the screwdriver to screw them in with a screwdriver.
That's the Great Plains brand.
Oh, well, this one here, they make a tool that will go in it, you know, with does about 2 threads in it, and it's got a shoulder on it, and then you screw it in with like a ratchet. And then when you're done, you just screw that out, and then go to the next one, screw it in, just go down the line.
Yeah.
They bore their own threads.
Does the tool come with them?
Really?
No, you have to buy the tool. The tool's $10.
You could probably make a tool.
Yeah, I'm going to make one. I didn't buy one. I figured that's what I figured. I'm just going to make one.
Not on the end of a screw.
Yeah, you got to just put a wheel collar on it and just bzz.
Yep.
If you got the screw that's got a, get the 1/4 like I'm going to have, get it long enough, and then put a collar on it and cinch it down, and then put it in and back it off. You only need a couple threads in there, and they'll bore right in. It'll tell you they're for soft wood. This is soft wood, so it'll drill its own threads going in, and then you just back your driver out, and you're good to go for the next one. But I'm gonna build me a jig. I decided I'm gonna build a jig, because you always have to set up and and draw out your lines and all this stuff. And I thought, if I do this, it's all one. It's done. It's permanent. It's all there. And then all I got to do is set up how I want my brackets to come in for the sides of the fuselage, and boy, that thing's straight. You're good. You go.
Yeah, I have taken a 2x2 square balsa block and cut it into little squares, and then glued them to the table to make a wing jig, or a fuselage jig for profiles, just to hold it straight. That worked pretty good. But
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it'd be
Rusty,
better to have one that's adjustable.
Hey, Rusty, that wing you got for that Cardinal, that's a jig wing, right?
You mean with built-on jig tabs?
You got with the rods.
Yeah, you can put rods through it.
You know what? I don't know. The booklet doesn't say anything about putting rods through it. I don't remember what it actually said about keeping everything straight.
I think it is. That's a windy,
like some models do.
That's a windy design, right? Windy.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Well, I'll
uses
tell you
the rods all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not a rod jig. The rods are not straight, but I can go down and get me some arrow shafts or something.
With that laser cutting, oh man, isn't that stuff nice?
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
it's beautiful, yeah.
Wow.
And these don't have charcoal all over them like the last laser cut kit I had. Because I had to take some fine sandpaper and clean the charcoal off of all of the cut edges, but this one doesn't look like that.
I wonder if that's an adjustment on the heat through the torch when they're cutting them.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well,
All
fellas,
I know is it sure is nice.
I think I'm going to
My
get
son
off.
laser cuts sheet metal at his work, and that's a pretty cool machine.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get off here. I'm about ready to just go down for the night.
Yeah.
I can't keep my eyes open. I don't have my toothpicks near me.
Well, thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
We got off to such a rocky start, but then we got to talk about some interesting stuff. So
Yeah, I agree.
thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your weekend, man.
Yeah, you all.
That's what I do. I got to get off too because I got to drive to North Carolina tomorrow for our club meeting, and I need to be snoring right now. So
We'll take your camera and have a couple guys up there do a couple of laps and get that camera going and post them again. There you go.
I will. Even the telephone, I'll whip it out. And
See
I'll
ya.
get
All right, Tom. Good night, Tom.
All right, take it easy.
All right.
But yeah, those videos you do, they are enjoyable. They really are. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, well, good.
It's fun to watch you, man.
I never have had a lot of feedback before, but now, this is a great thing. This video chat we're doing. You know, I get to, you know, feedback from what I'm doing and get a lot of people watching us interested. Hopefully we're spawning some interest out there.
Oh,
Yeah, hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. And, you know, I hope there's some younger guys that can catch the flame or whatever it is that we have, because it's a dying sport.
I don't know who I was watching, but our ratings and the YouTube statistics are going up and up.
Oh, very good.
That's good.
Very good.
That's good.
You know, when I was growing up, we had probably 50 flyers here that flew control line.
Yeah.
And now we're down to me and my boys. You know, it's like everybody moved out, or they quit, or they went to RC, or, you know, it's just,
RC is alive and well.
Yeah, it is, especially this cars.
Yeah.
You know, these kids doing these rock collars and stuff like that. And I've got one, and it's fun, but it doesn't, it's not the control line, that connection that we have with our airplane. That's what keeps me coming back to the airplane that we do, is because I feel that airplane.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is?
About flying control lines, you actually can see your workmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you can feel it, but you also can see your work. Those RC guys, they got their plane 100 feet in the air or 200 feet in the air. They really can't really appreciate their workmanship, and where we can look at it and see it. It's pretty neat. I was admiring my Nobler today when I was watching it fly, you know, and I was like, that is a good-looking airplane, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and
it must feel like a little old light plane to you, Charles, after Draga flying and all those big birds.
Well,
a little bit. I haven't flown my Strega in several months, so I've kind of forgot how it felt. I just remember how good it flew. You know, I think it was Wally asked me earlier about my engine. When I got the new crankcase, I can't get, there's a sleeve inside there that I can't get out, and this thing fits inside it nice and snug, and then the muffler goes over that, and so I might have to have someone make me a new sleeve for this new motor. It doesn't have the sleeve. When I put this part in,
yeah,
this part it's just loose. It's not, I know you can't see how loose it is, but
yeah, you
need sleeve. Do you know what the sleeve's made out of? Is it brass?
Few more thousandths on your outside diameter.
Hey, Charles.
You know, that sleeve looks like it might be some sort of, it's really thin. It's probably only 5/1000ths of an inch. It's probably some sort of metal. I don't know if it's aluminum or if it's, or what the material of the sleeve is. I don't know.
Charles, if you can take and put that thing in some boiling water, and I just took my sleeve out of my Fox 35. I put it's aluminum case with a steel sleeve, and I could not budge that thing. When I put it in boiling water for about 5 minutes or so, that thing slid right out. Because
really?
That's your piston sleeve. Yeah.
That's a piston sleeve. But that little sleeve he's talking about, if it's steel and the case is aluminum, they'll expand and contract a lot differently to each other. You might be able to get that out of there.
Yeah, I was talking to Tom Dixon. He recommended me use a propane torch. See, I already put the toaster oven degrees, and I just couldn't get that thing out. And he said that I shouldn't heat the whole thing, just heat the area that I want to get that thing to separate from. So I haven't tried that yet, but I might try that too, Chris.
Yeah. Well, boiling is only 212, so I don't see how it could really hurt it.
No, yeah, aluminum has a high melting point, so
yeah, it's got to go about
a big holdup.
It's got to go about 400 degrees, if I'm thinking right, to start distorting your aluminum. You know, to where it's going to damage it.
Yeah. No, it's got to be higher than that, but
yeah,
it should be fine.
Hold up for me.
You're trying to take it out of the old case, right?
Yeah, this is the old case. I can't get that like bushing or sleeve out.
So if you ruin the old case, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I'm not in love with this case anymore anyways.
Right. I was just going to say.
Well, give that
the sleeve out.
I want a divorce from you.
All right, guys. You have a good night.
cut it. I hate to cut it off, but I gotta go.
Yes. Yeah, we want you to be drive safe, and thank you for hosting the
Yeah,
show tonight.
You're welcome. I appreciate y'all coming in. We sure had a rocky start this evening, but whoever hung in, I see we've got one viewer left on the tube side. I appreciate it. And so we will see y'all on Monday night. And until then, have a good weekend. And
All right, man.
don't forget to subscribe and like us. And fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Yep.
see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.